In the White House, President Eisenhower signs the proclamation that makes Alaska's entry into the Union official, nearly 92 years after Lincoln's Secretary of State bought the territory from the Russian Tsar for $7 million.
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Big Rays, the Alaskan outfitter, committed to outfitting Alaskans across the state since 1947. Whether you're a recreator, parent, guide, or corporate buyer, Big Rays has the gear you need, tailored for Alaska's harsh conditions. Check out their new exclusive line of Auralic waders. Big Rays for all your outdoor gear and rugged work attire. BigRays.com.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives. AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO. Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They are the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional property maintenance team. Services include weekly lawn care, custom landscaping, fertilizing, weed control, turf repair, and more. Schedule your free estimate at lawnproak.com.
Alaska's OG cider company, Double Shovel, crafting gluten-free colonial-style ciders, founded as a healthier, non-inflammatory brew option. Drop by their Pop and Tap room in Anchorage off of 58th and Arctic, or visit the second location in Kodiak. Double Shovel, award-winning ciders.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaskan public lands, waters, and wildlife. Their goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping our public lands wild. Stand up today and join BHA at backcountryhunters.org.
Can visit there.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, like, it actually is open from 8 to 5 type business?
Yep. Yeah, totally.
Damn, you guys didn't waste any time with that.
You got to get that call in, dude.
It's Wednesday.
Mine's already open.
It's funny when I'm trying to call over it. Talk over it.
Yeah. Welcome to Alaska Wild Project, episode 138. We welcome Jen. I'm going to let you say your last name.
Loofbourrow.
From Alpine Fit. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and thanks for the schedule mishaps. As anyone that, tries to use a calendar, there's always stuff that you forget, especially when there's like 4 calendars, the phone calendar, the home calendar, the work calendar, and
it's always good like 2-3 months out. Oh yeah. Just put that sucker on the calendar, man.
Switching from Tuesday to Wednesday after the summer, or Wednesday to Tuesday. We kind of got.
Well, I think Brandon was here yesterday. He's like, "Are you guys coming?"
Oh,
I was like, "Oh, it's Wednesday."
just to elaborate more on the confusion. I'm like, "Yeah, when are we showing up?" It's tomorrow. I'm like,
yeah. He's like, "Oh."
Yeah, because I ended up recording with Jeff Lund last night.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, how was that?
Yeah, it was great, man. I think the 3rd time I've been on, maybe the 4th time I've been on his show, and I just love. It's so casual and and cool.
Yeah.
And this time he had his camera and his headphones, and I got it was
Oh,
a Zoom.
is he doing video now?
No,
okay,
he
it's just
even
better
said no.
better for conversation. They'll see
Yeah,
something.
it just felt like we were in person.
Yeah.
You know, even though he's in Ketchikan, of course, obviously, but just it's getting more and more comfortable to have a conversation with him.
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
mean, it feels like we're buddies now, more than just like interviewees or whatever.
Totally. I was on his show, I don't know, a few months ago, and I'm going to meet with him again on Monday.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Have you met him in person?
Yep.
Then?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
cool.
come by the shop, and
Nice.
he wears Alpine Fit
Sweet.
outdoor
Nice.
adventuring. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
yeah,
Did you read his book yet?
I have not.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to do that.
Yeah, he's got two.
Which one? Yeah.
He's
His
got
new
two,
book?
the new one, Beyond
Yeah.
the Hunt.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely anyone. Definitely check out Jeff's podcast and his stuff. He does a lot of cool articles and stuff like that, and just a totally rad like Southeast guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Super humble.
and you might be like the number one guest on his show.
Yeah,
this
dude.
is like the fourth time.
Third or fourth, I can't remember. I think it's just every hunting season
Yeah,
since we started, which has been now 3 pretty much
yeah.
hunting seasons. So, yeah, I mean, I'm like super happy, and I mean,
Does he send you like a gold?
yeah. What,
You get a golden
Disc.
ticket.
am I a blue chip guest?
Yeah, now you can just show up anytime on
No,
his podcast.
I'm really appreciative that he's wants to have me on, and,
Yeah.
and obviously worth his time, and
Yeah, I appreciate his email. He has like an email thing, and he'll send like his articles and stuff like that, which is cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
well, he's so organized and professional and educated, and he speaks so well. And I'm just kind of like clunking, I just go through this clunking about. This is pretty much my style, and so it's when I'm talking to him, I feel like I have to really kind of have my words right and.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he's a
speak clear.
teacher also. Right?
Yeah, I'm like, man, I'm kind of almost.
That helps.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
almost intimidated sometimes. Like, I don't sound like an idiot. But this guy's so smart. But he
His
makes me
journalist
feel.
approach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He makes me feel comfortable. And yesterday was so casual and cool. And anyway, thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. Because I know he listens to us every week. Appreciate that too.
Jeff's awesome.
He is. He is. I like his like stance or humor, kind of uncertain.
Yeah.
Like bullshit that happens in the hunting and fishing industry. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, me and Jack
Oh, yeah.
had a great time with the kiddos. We
oh, you guys end up going out together?
yeah, well, I went with my
wondered that.
brother, and we went fishing at the Anchor.
How old are the kiddos?
My oldest is 12. My youngest is 10. And
Okay.
yours are 8
The
and
twins are 7.
8, 7.
Yeah,
okay.
boy and girl
okay.
twin.
I have a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're
Yeah,
at
Right in
fun
the
range.
same
We're in the same
club
boat.
there.
Yep.
Busy times.
Yeah, very busy.
Boys, girls, mix.
11-year-old boy, 9-year-old girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My oldest is super into outdoors. Anything that has to do with any kind of outdoor stuff, he's totally into it. So I went with him and my brother to Anchor River to go fishing for steelhead and dollies, and the weather was amazing. And I guess it was like pouring rain last weekend in Anchorage, and so we're like just super happy. And my wife and my other son are like, we're bored. It's just raining. And I was like, you should have came.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hang out in the motorhome if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the fishing was terrible. I don't know if the fishermen were terrible or the fishing was terrible. Either way, we tried our best. We had a great time.
Sleeping in.
And we ended up talking with Jack, and Jack was like, oh, the twins want to go bird hunting. And Mateo's been wanting to go bird hunting.
Yeah.
We have gone bird hunting, but he's never got one. So after it was like lame fishing, we're like, okay, well, let's switch it up, and we'll meet Jack, and we'll go do that. Because my brother was going to go on a float with his coworker on Monday or something. So like, all right, well, we'll totally revamp it, and we just happen to have like the BB gun in the motorhome, but then Jack brought up the pellet gun. He's like, well, we need a pellet gun.
Yeah.
So he's like,
power. Yeah.
The first graders have pellet guns. We need seventh
I know,
grader
and
needs
I
a
was
pellet
like,
gun too.
yeah, we do need pellet guns. You're right. And so I'm like, we're gonna stop in Soldotna.
Yeah,
So we stopped in Soldotna, went into Sportsman's Warehouse,
Looking for a new firearm.
and bought one and tried to hide it from Mom, but she found it. And she's like,
Well, we
another gun?
would've-
You need another one?
If she could
Keep
have
her in the
gotten the
coat
safe,
closet,
we would have
man.
had the 22. So
Oh, exactly. I know. I was gonna blame her, but
Yeah, no, she's
Well, we
cool.
called her because Jack was gonna come, and I was like, "Can you get in the safe and get the 22 out?"
Yeah.
And so Jack will come grab it, and
They're hard to open.
It is
dude.
so. Can we bring that up? Like,
Dude.
I had to have my neighbor like teach me how to open my own gun
Oh
safe.
man.
That seems embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
They're so
and even
hard.
now, like I couldn't even explain to her because I
joking.
just do it.
Oh, it
No,
is.
it's like
No,
you got to
it
go
is.
like 3, and then it's like 2, and then it's
and
like
then
1, but it's the opposite of every other thing.
And
Where
it's
do you
not
get the
really
digital
3, it's like
shit?
2.5.
Yeah,
And so it's it's weird, man. And you're like, do you start counterclockwise or clockwise?
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
it's
like I have
frustrating.
it by memory. Same with like this code. If someone asks me for the door
Yeah.
code, I'm like, the bottom left and the top 3 twice.
Oh,
you know, I'm
no.
It's
like,
like muscle memory.
exactly. So
Yeah,
I'll just
I don't
like
know what the
do
number
it.
is, I just do it.
And I don't know the
Yeah.
spin. I just know I'm like, just give it one good spin. And she's
Yeah.
like, FaceTime, and she's like, does it? I was like, that's not good enough. You know,
Yeah,
it's just- so she couldn't figure it out. I said, forget it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went
Yeah.
out. We went out and we were gonna meet you guys. You're gonna go down a certain place, and we're like, we'll come that way. And we end up going, and we just happen to be on the road and see some on the side of the road. We're like, oh man, we jump out and chase him down, and he ends up getting one. He's so excited,
Yeah.
and then we meet you guys.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, we my kids, they depend on like the wild food, and they've like really adopted it on their own. Of course, like the leaders of the family talk about eating healthy and stuff, but like they straight like check the freezer to let me know how the levels are.
It's amazing.
And they're like, "Oh, we're running low, Daddy. You got to get some stuff." And so, we take them and hike and do all this stuff in Alaska, But I've never like wanted to like push them to like, "Hey, you need to fish hard or hunt or anything yet." Like I figure they'll just come when they want. And so they really started fishing this summer, and eating their own catch. And so it was interesting that after our hunting season was up, like the boy was like, "Hey Dad, I want to go hunting." And I'm like, "Okay, you're 7, you're old enough. We've shot BB guns a bunch." So like we like sat down and like he helped me plan what we were going to do.
Wow.
We're all kind of hardcore. I mean, all Alaskans. We like woke up at whatever 5:30 in the morning, and
he planned this into the trip.
yeah. Well, I planned.
Oh, you planned that.
He knows that you have to hunt early and late.
Yeah, that's great.
So I was like, "Okay, well, what time do we need to leave?" And so, and his sister wanted to come, so because she's super outdoorsy too, and so we were.
Well, she didn't want to have FOMO, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I was like, "You want to go camping?" And she's like, "And are there gonna be s'mores?" And I was like, "Of course." And she's like, "I'm fully in."
Yeah.
But she actually can put the sneak on things really well. So Paxton has something to learn from. But so we basically were walking trails in the pouring rain, in the dark that first morning. And we went all fucking day. Like, so we like went on one trail, and then we went to like some gravel spots I know for like rabbits. And then we went to another spot for spruce ends. And then we like drove a bunch of roads, and then we went on more hikes. And it was like, dude, we couldn't find anything. Like there was like no living creatures. Although a horned owl flew right above us, which is pretty.
Oh, that's awesome to
like,
see, man.
Maybe
Yeah,
like
that's cool.
10 feet above us and landed in a tree, probably 20 feet up. So they got to see that. That was cool. And then finally, like late in the day, we spot one like lone spruce end, and I'm like, all right. I brought a little the cooler backpack, the Arctic one, so then Paxton could like rest his pellet gun on that. And so we go to stock it, and
It's on the trail?
yeah,
Okay.
and these things are usually pretty stupid. No, dude, I like got the only like wary smart one ever. Like we're walking way
The one
slower
that was
than
looking
I
at you like this?
way slower than I normally walk at one of these things. And dude, it just and Paxton looks up to me, and I'm looking in the woods. I'm like, all right. He's like, oh man, we're not gonna get it. I was like, well, dude, we saw where it went. So we went in the woods, and man, it went deep in, like 150 yards. He almost gave up a few times. We relocated.
That's
It's way
deep.
at the top of a tree, and it's like, oh damn, like we didn't train for these like
Angled
60-degree angle shots. Like I trained for like slightly off, whatever, even
It's just
horizontal.
at eye level.
Oh, dude, pretty much, man. And so
Just rested every time.
He was just like laying on the ground, trying to like shoot straight up into this tree, and so we didn't get it, and it was really interesting to see, his response to that. It was like, it wasn't like, oh, I wanted to kill something. It was like, oh, I let everyone down, we were going to eat this kind of thing, and it's like, oh, this is just a lesson, this is how it is.
Part of
like
it, dude.
It's part of failure. We're going to learn from this. So here's the good things that happened. We did relocate it, that was cool, and then we also like had perseverance. Like we worked really hard. You guys, this is like 4:00 or something, we finally see something. And so then we hooked up with Daniel after that, and too bad we weren't with you when you guys saw those birds.
Well, it's funny you guys had like the whole day, and we're like just turned down the street and just like bam, like that.
Yeah.
Just on the main road.
Okay, but I'm dying to know, like, how did the kids rate the experience? Because we went on a really big Sufferfest weekend trip a couple weeks ago, and we're thinking, like, what are we doing? Like, this is not even type 2 fun.
Yeah.
We're not making the kids like what we're doing. It's miserable. And they rated it a solid 5.5, where 10 is good and 0 is horrible.
Oh, right in the middle.
And I was like, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
So how did the kids
so we
like
also
this?
hunted the next day and hiked around all day with Daniel. Mateo didn't see anything at all for the whole next day. They loved it.
But it was nice. The weather was nice.
That's good.
That second day it
helps.
was. The first day it poured. So if I don't mention the bad weather,
Nobody notices.
then the kids don't care.
Yeah.
So what I've noticed, at least with these guys,
Don't
is
talk
like,
about it.
yeah, it's like if I'm in a good mood and I'm down to do stuff in bad weather, then it could be rainy or whatever. Like the last day of Gold Canada this year, like all 7 of the 9 kids that came, they turned to me and they were like, "Hey, can we stay an extra night?" And it was
Nice.
awful weather the whole time. Like there
That's
was not
awesome.
any sun, and so we luckily I think it's a lot about like how you set the conditions up. It's like if you're gonna have fun no matter what, and then bring extra dry clothes and a warm spot like we have our pod, then you're pretty good. And hot chocolate and all the fun stuff. So yeah, they had a blast. I didn't have them rate it by numbers, but I was like,
this
you guys
was
wanna do this
voluntary
again?
rating
Yeah.
by them.
All right.
Really?
Oh, they came up with a scale?
We do something similar when my wife cooks something new in the house, and it's the thumb. It's like 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down in the middle, or it's like,
all right.
Yeah.
That's good.
or I'm trying some new whatever recipe. I should have did that because they all tried the spruce hen.
Oh, yeah.
Because we ended
Nice.
up, Jack helped us show them how to do it, and they had so much fun like plucking it and like getting it out. And
Yep.
like I cooked it and did it all, and they all had some, and
It was really good. All the kids loved it.
Yeah,
Nice.
And they were like, we should have shot more. I was like,
yeah, because everyone got like one bite.
yeah, yeah. But it was really good, and it was cool to like that. Mateo got it, so then all the kids got to go through the experience of cleaning it, and then Daniel got showing them how to cook it, and then eating what we killed. That's what the hunting is about. Is the adventure, connecting with nature, living off the land, not like trophies on your wall.
Nice.
So teaching them that. So it was a really fun weekend.
The process, man.
Yeah.
It's really important. And for them to learn early. I feel like in comparison, as a kid, we're growing up, when we went hunting, we didn't get a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. We went hunting a lot and came home empty-handed. So I thought that was the normal. Mm-hmm. And realized that, well, maybe Dad's just not that great of a hunter. And I'm just going hunting with some guys in blue jeans and, sneakers and like, half chicken wired equipment and shit. And I just thought that was normal.
Yeah.
And so my expectations were always low, but I loved the trips. Mm-hmm.
Totally.
The adventures, the listening to my dad and his buddies joking and drinking, whiskey, Coke flat in a bottle. And like, there were just amazing adventures and fun and experiences. And then I got older and we started harvesting animals, and I'm like, oh, this is what it feels like. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they're going to have an appreciation for the process and the experience. And then, over time and experience and getting out more, harvests will come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think getting kids into hunting is like all about small game hunting. And
building up to
we
it.
do not have a lot of small game hunting in Alaska. It has easy access. Like the ptarmigan hunt that we go on is 16 miles. It's like a sheep hunt, you know?
Yeah, it'd be tough to drag 7-year-olds around in that hunt, or even 9 and 11-year-old. 9 and 11?
Yeah.
That'd be tough.
Yeah. You got to want it. And so like finding those like opportunities I think are important. And then also like a lot of the hunting up here is multi-day, like weekend warrior is not enough, you know. Right. so you know, you don't want to like introduce your kid to that. You want to like have some good, like, hey, we worked really hard for a day or two and then come home with something.
Yeah, build up to it.
So
you said it best, setting the tone as the parent and setting the vibe and the energy, even if it's, you know, the weather sucks, you're not seeing anything. This is most likely going to be an empty-handed adventure in terms of a harvest. But if you make the kids feel like there's an opportunity and a chance and we're still having fun, and don't talk about that weather, they don't know the difference.
No.
I mean, they're just in it to win it no matter what, right?
Just pack enough layers, pack the rain jacket, brimmed hat.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Unless they're over there taking notes like, today's rating 1.2.
Yeah.
Today was pretty good. I'm going to give that one an 8. The sun came out for an hour. All right.
It's 100% likely we're having fun, okay?
Yeah.
That's the only thing we got. Yeah.
A good call, too, on the wings. Maven doesn't know what to do.
Oh, yeah.
I brought home the wings because I got a little puppy at home. And
what are you guys talking about right now?
The wings from
the wings
I get
from
that,
the bird.
but with the dog, the good idea, like what do we...
Because he was telling me how he trained his dog Brooks with like introducing them to the smell of it, and then you hide it, and then you let them find it so that they can become bird dogs. And she's like, she doesn't know what to think about this thing. Like, I pulled it out of the little thing and put it there, and she's like, you know, like, I don't know. I really want to smell it, but I don't know. So but now, like, you go in the garage and it's the first thing she goes to. She's like, I'm just going to put my head in this thing and I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, her instincts are pinging. She doesn't even know what to do, right?
I always just kind of drug it around the house, like just lightly, and then hit it like behind a door or whatever. And then I was like, all right, go get it and bring it back. And as soon as Brooks brought it back, then she got a treat and she became a good bird dog. There's more to it.
And I can say from experience, I saw her being a hell of a bird dog. Unfortunately, her hearing's going to crap. Yeah. So she wants to go birding, and then she can't hear you calling her to back. And so her better, you know, better judgment, better, I don't know.
Days.
I know it's just her instincts take over. She wants to go she wants to go get the bird.
Yeah, she only got birdie with us for like maybe 20 seconds once.
Oh, on this trip? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Daniel was there when she got birdie. Okay. But
you brought her with.
Yeah, the bird must have been on the ground and then flew somewhere.
Of getting birdie?
Yeah, they get excited. Like you can just tell that they're on a bird. Like their instincts kick in, their tail's going crazy.
Oh, getting
they're
birdie,
breathing hard, kind of running it down wherever the bird was. And then she lost it, and it was obviously a place where the bird had flown.
You guys have a dog, Jen?
Yeah.
Oh, you got the full setup like the rest of us, huh? Yeah, 2 kids, dog, trampoline in the back, maybe?
We just got the trampoline this summer.
Business with 2 locations? Like, you got any time for anything?
No, time for this. Like, exactly.
Thank
precisely
you for
to
that.
show up.
Yes.
Yeah.
For 1 hour.
We have an awesome dog. She's what we call an Alaska surprise. She's like part husky, part retriever. Kind of looks like a golden German Shepherd.
Okay.
She loves to run. She loves to pull. So she's fun in the snow, like pulling a polk or ski joring. Yeah. So
I thought the Alaska surprise is when your girlfriend calls and says, "I'm late."
That's a different
Sorry.
kind.
Yeah, there's multiple surprises.
Jen, thank you for getting that. First, you two are like, "Oh, what?"
We got the family dynamic going, the Alaska family dynamic for sure.
Sweet. So Papa's at home cooking dinner tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or something.
Good job, Dad.
They're alive. They're at home. No, for sure.
Pizza, something like that.
He's definitely probably cooking dinner of some sort.
I think it's like really official once you got a trampoline.
Yeah.
I mean, you were
That was like a side hand-me-down from my husband's coworker. I was like,
perfect.
it's time for the trampoline, you know.
How did you transport the trampoline? Did you tear it down and have to build it again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Truckload.
Yeah, because my take on the trampoline is it stays with the house.
So we haven't
We
taken
move
it down.
it stays there.
We haven't taken it down for a winter yet. Do we just leave it up over the winter? Like,
He
what
was
are we
just
going to do?
we were just talking about that.
Like, we're taking it down this weekend?
Learn,
Nah,
what are we
I'm
doing?
leaving that thing
learn
up.
you all up right now.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay.
Year one with
But does yours
trampoline-
have the net thing around it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we take
We
the
got-
net down?
Yeah. So first off, we got our trampoline post-COVID. It was hard to get trampolines. They were hard to get. So we had ordered ours, got ours kind of late. So we want to let the kids play with it as long as possible, like clear into before winter, even I think the first snowfall or whatever, and let it stay out there. I thought, oh yeah, you just leave trampolines up. Well, the snow obviously collects in the middle, and then it gets heavy and
Weakens the
iced, and
spring.
it can start to sink it down.
Sure.
Now, year before last, snow load wasn't crazy bad. It was pretty normal.
Last
But
year.
last year's was bad, catastrophic almost, right? So Rena, before last winter, was out deer hunting. She took it upon herself. You go, boo. She went and bought the big black tote with the yellow lid, the big one from like Home Depot or whatever, and she pulled the whole mat out of the middle. Is that what you call it? The center part? The mat?
Tramp.
The mesh?
The mesh,
Yeah.
the nucleus of the trampoline. She folded up and threw it in the tote, and then we threw it under the shed eave, and so we left the frame
Okay. That's
and
what I
the
was
netting
thinking.
up. And so what happens? The netting now is kind of like flopping in the wind. So I just took zip ties and I just zip tied it to the frame, and then this spring I just cut all the zip ties and we just put the screen back up.
Okay.
So I got too much shit to do.
It
I'm not doing
is.
none of that. I'm not going to take all the spring. I'm going to just make the kids go out there and shovel it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's another option if they're going to play. So the first winter we left it up thinking the same thing, and the kids didn't go out and use it as much as we thought.
Oh.
That's why we decided that we're going to take it
I
down.
actually
Now
thought
your
it'd
kids are really good outside, winter kids.
Yeah, they like to play outside.
My kids,
but I
like,
want to get the
act
thing
like they
off
are,
so
but-
they can like do what we used to do,
Yeah,
like
flips
jump
and
off
stuff.
into the snow.
Yeah.
You know, just take the thing off.
Yeah.
Because that's the hardest part. Has been all those 90 springs in there.
Yeah.
My kicker was I have all the neighborhood kids now come over and jump on the trampoline. I'm talking there
Nice.
could be like 7, 8, 9, 10 of them at one time.
Oh, okay. You got a waiver going?
I damn near feel like I should. I actually had a parent when I was a kid make me sign a waiver.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
same.
Yeah.
That's why I
Yeah.
said that. Jason Combs.
After my brother dislocated and broke his elbow, his bone came out, and then I got launched into a pile of bikes and almost had a catastrophic knee injury. And I was like, oh, that's why they make you
Yeah.
sign some papers.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the winter thing made me more nervous because I thought about that too. Like, oh, they can jump off in the snow, and I'm like, no, they're gonna ping off, hit the rail, the metal cold
They're
rail,
going to be
or something.
skiing down the roof,
Something,
landing on
yeah, you're gonna
bounce
look back
off
there and
that
be like,
into the
oh
garden.
my God, what are they doing right now? Get off that!
That's what kids do, man.
Yeah.
I know it's not 1990 anymore, guys. That's the
In
problem.
my house, it is.
I mean,
backyard.
we try to
Time
keep
capsule.
it alive.
Well, I
mean,
thought if
love-
you take the net off too, then it's easier to shovel. You probably
Oh,
have to
that's a good
shovel it
point.
all to that little
That's a good
door.
point.
Oh yeah.
When they have
Or
the
toss it
outside
over.
net, do they not have like the protection layer anymore on the outside?
There is.
They
no-
do, but it's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, it's thin.
I didn't put it
cover.
back on this time. We didn't. The foam.
yeah.
Yeah.
We got like a camo one. It was all fancy.
Oh.
And we tried to put it on. The Velcro's like wearing out now, and it was flopping off in the wind because the summer was shitty and windy, and so I just went and took it off. And
We had summer.
Yeah, you missed it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I think it was like
didn't
5 or
see
6
any of
days.
them.
Yeah.
5 or 6 days.
4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Juneau for a week. I had it there. Yeah.
It was the most beautiful.
Isn't that crazy? You got to go
Time.
to Southeast for a
Yeah.
little sun.
Yeah.
Got to go to Southeast
Yeah.
for sun, huh, Jeff?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how it was in Ketchikan, but in Juneau, they had a great summer, I heard.
That's
I know
nice.
Chad and Jamie went in July to Sitka and got like 5 or 6 days of straight beautiful blue days.
It's
Yeah.
so nice. when
We
the
were on
sun's
Admiralty Island in
Oh,
June.
nice.
Staying at one of the Forest Service cabins there and doing some of the
Yeah.
Cross Admiralty route. And it was like
Oh.
80 and sunny, like so hot that we were jumping off the boat into the lake to cool off, not
Don't
just to like
tell
say
us
we did it.
that.
It was amazing.
Oh, come on.
Sounds
Yeah.
great.
The place where it should be the crappiest.
Yes. Yeah. We were prepared for like, 7
Oh,
days
sure.
of rain.
Bet you brought your puffies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everything, right? You had to, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited though. That's winter. I mean, it almost feels like winter. Hockey started.
Mm-hmm.
Actual watching of hockey and playing of hockey has started. Do you have some kind of accent over there?
A
Hey,
Canadian accent, maybe.
A?
It's
I
it's
thought I heard a
fading.
A.
It's fading. I might have said A. It'll come out. Yeah. You say
About
hockey
to
and my
come
ears
out.
perk up.
Oh, what?
You got a team?
Drop the puck, crash the net. What?
I'm from Ontario, Canada originally, so I can't say anything other than the Leafs.
No, okay.
Yeah, my dad wouldn't stand for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
They got a
By
good
default.
chance.
Yeah, they do.
They're looking good. The Leafs are looking good.
They're stacked.
They are stacked.
Yeah, I was
My dad will be
watching-
thrilled.
Yeah, they look good.
They just-
I bet going to a game there would be amazing.
Oh, it'd be fun.
yeah.
Oh, hell
Have you
yeah.
been to a game?
Games are pretty fun. I haven't actually been to a Leafs game. Obviously, my dad has a lot. But where I grew up in Ontario, Canada, was close to Buffalo, New York. So we would drive across the border and
Watch the Buffalo Sabres?
yeah, we went to a lot of hockey games.
Yeah, you'd have the New Jersey, you'd have Philadelphia, there, Boston Bruins. There's tons of hockey in the.
Oh,
Yeah.
right there.
Area.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember I got to see Gretzky play
Yeah.
when he was
Oh,
playing
no
for New
way.
York. Yeah, because he played the Buffalo Sabres when he was playing for the Rangers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was pretty cool.
You got to see the great one in person. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Damn.
that was probably a highlight of any Canadian youth's childhood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
If you go to Vegas ever, you should watch a game there.
okay.
Have you been to a game in
No,
Vegas?
I want
No.
to.
Any of you
really
guys?
bad.
Have you? Dude,
Not yet.
it's like a spectacle. I mean, it's amazing.
It's like a Broadway show or not
Oh,
Broadway
the
show.
whole
It's a
thing.
Vegas
Like
show,
you have to
right?
go early to like see like the
Yeah.
beginning,
Right.
you know, because it's just
The
like,
pre-hype and all
yeah,
the
and
stuff.
even
Yeah.
between the periods, it's just like so much going on. Like,
Yeah.
oh man,
Yeah, I saw they did their, defending champ.
yeah, oh yeah,
Raised
yeah.
their banner last
Oh,
night.
okay. Did the season start?
They had the Kraken in town.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah, so yesterday was the opener of the season. I happened to catch it on SportsCenter last night and got,
Who won?
gosh darn, I was watching
They played Seattle.
I'm assuming they
I
won.
think they won. I
think
didn't
they
finish
did.
watching it. I did see that the banner came out of like a big slot machine.
Yeah.
Like, had, like this big,
That
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
right.
that's
like a
all
huge
right.
slot machine,
Yeah, yeah.
and then like the captain like pulled the thing, and it was like Stanley Cup, Stanley Cup, Stanley Cup, and then up came the banner.
Wow.
It's like,
That's
oh, okay.
awesome.
All right, right on.
Only in Vegas, man.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Another memorable hockey game was I was in Vancouver when the 2010 Olympics were happening, and I got to go see the women's gold medal hockey game,
Yeah.
Canada versus U.S.
Oh, that was a huge game.
Canada won.
Yeah.
Like in a
And-
nail biter at the end.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Canada.
I saw that on TV. I remember that on TV.
And they do the full medal ceremony at the final game in hockey
Right.
in the Olympics. So I got to
Oh,
be
they
there for the
do?
anthem singing and the medal ceremony. Like it was amazing. Like
and it
I
was in Canada.
Yeah,
so
yeah. It was like
Yeah.
it was amazing.
Just so full of old
awesome.
Canadas.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a good Olympics.
That was a fun one.
2010.
I
Yeah.
remember I lived in my little ranch house in Ermine Street and watching that game by myself.
Yeah.
I tuned in to watch it because
Yeah.
it's like, hey, that's a special moment. A lot of hype around it. And I
Yeah.
think it was like 4-3 or something. It was like
Yeah.
down to the wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was intense, and I watched it by myself. I like went and bought tickets on the street, like outside, because I was like, I'm in
so-
Vancouver. This
Yeah.
is happening. Like
Yeah.
it was like
Wow.
it was only $375. Doesn't sound like a lot now when you hear
But
like
for
what.
World Cup or World,
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, no,
exactly.
that
At
was
the time,
worth
it was a
every
lot of money
penny.
for me, but
Yeah.
it was like this
Sure.
is worth it. I got one ticket. I'm going by myself, and like, yeah, it was amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, what
Yeah.
a cool experience.
Yeah,
Tangy
totally.
was there for that too.
Oh, nice.
Tangy's everywhere. All
Yeah,
the time.
he is. Yeah. He's texting us. I was like, do you have international text? No.
I did watch the Chicago because I know that's your team.
Oh, yeah.
I want to watch the Bedard.
Yeah.
See how he
Oh,
looks.
How does
he got
he
an
look?
assist.
Looks legit, dude.
I heard he's super dirty.
Yeah.
They beat the Penguins like 5-3.
Yeah.
He got an assist.
I saw a replay on a preseason game where he did some sort of toe drag and against Detroit and then pulled it behind his back and then went around the guy. I mean, it was pretty dirty.
Do you skate?
Yeah.
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 You got the kids skating?
Yeah, obviously. But it's funny because I hadn't skated in a really long time. When I first moved to Anchorage, it was like, wow, there's ice that we can skate
Everywhere.
outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I lived in Anchorage for 9 years. And I was working at a job, working for Scoop, the snow skirt and puffy jacket company here. I'm wearing one right now.
Yes.
Anyway, on like an afternoon, we walked down to Westchester Lagoon. I got skates played against sports or whatever. We went down to skate, and I was like, I haven't skated since I was like a teenager or like, adolescent. I was like, I'm not sure I could do this anymore, but I must be able to do it. Like, it's my heritage. And so we get down there and I'm like, oh, this feels weird. And then someone like threw me a hockey stick and I just like caught it in my hands. And then it was like old hat. I just like cruised around the big
eyes just rolled back in your head.
Yeah. I went to the lagoon and they're like, oh, sure, you've been skating since you're 12. I was like, I can't explain this.
I needed the stick.
Yeah.
Turned right back on.
Exactly.
So hockey skates?
Yeah, hockey skates.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, of course.
What do you ask?
Was she
Okay,
wearing-
just making sure.
Was she wearing figure skates?
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
I'm just
Come on.
making
Yeah.
sure.
She's seen Wayne Gretzky and been to a gold medal game. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
my dad. I grew up in Ontario, Canada. Like, Alaska is the fastest place I've ever felt like home. I love it. Alaska's home, but I'm from Ontario, Canada, which is really flat. Hockey is everyone's favorite thing. My dad and our backyard neighbor used to make a hockey rink in our shared
flood
site.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So he had little like leftover reject boards from when they renovated the local arena. So they had these little short boards. They made this like 30 by 60 thing
Damn.
that they
huge.
lined with like plastic sheeting, and then they were out there every night,
Mopping it.
mopping it and hosing it down and making it fresh. And it was just like every kid in our whole neighborhood was out there
Oh,
playing
I bet.
like hockey all winter. It was amazing.
You guys were popular.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun. It was super fun.
So
Definitely
trampoline or
skates.
rink in the yard?
Rink.
Rink, yeah.
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 We had a trampoline also, but winter
Got
was the
pushed
best.
over in the corner
Yeah.
over there for the rink. To
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, technically, it was the neighbor's backyard that was huge. That was kind of our side yard. So the trampoline was still there, but
Funny, talking about the trampoline, I had a friend, to kind of switch topics a little bit, skiing's coming up and all that, and the kids are all stoked to go snowboarding, and my kid wants to ski, so I'm going to give him lessons. But I had a friend who was like a pro, and I remember going, and like we're in high school, and he's like, I'm going to go jump on a trampoline. I'm like, what? I was like, we're in high school. Let's go find girls,
Yeah.
And he's back there, so he's like, come over. So I come over there, and he's back there with his snowboard on,
Yes.
yeah. I
jumping
remember.
on the trampoline,
right.
like
Yeah.
practicing
Oh,
his like
hell yeah.
Inverts
double
and-
backflips and
Yep.
stuff. I was like, whoa, okay,
Yeah.
that makes a lot
Yep.
of sense.
That was my brother.
Yeah, back there doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's what our tramp was for too.
I'd be scared to do that.
Where did you guys all grow up?
Here,
Here.
Anchorage.
All of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Service, Bartlett, East.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't have the Alaska born and raised cred.
It's okay. You're
That doesn't make you any lesser Alaskan, though.
no,
Thank you.
doesn't.
Not at all.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started visiting here in 2004 and made it home in 2014.
Nice.
Worded
cool,
very,
huh?
very nicely. Like how you worded that.
Yeah,
Made
that was
it
the first
home.
time. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
And it was the fastest, I might have just already said this, but it was the fastest place I ever felt like home. Like, it was just like instantly,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
the lifestyle I want to have.
Yeah.
Mostly that. Meet awesome people.
Yep.
But mostly it's just like you live here, you can fly somewhere if you need to, you can buy the stuff you need to, but you can get out into the backcountry immediately.
Yes.
Yeah, right after work.
Yeah.
That's right.
Can't beat it.
No.
What does your guys' summer look like?
What did our summer look like?
I mean, in general, like what kind of activities are you guys doing?
Oh, okay. This summer, I didn't bike as much as I thought I would, but the kids did like the Mighty Bikes thing,
Oh yeah.
which
Cool.
was fun. I volunteer coached for that, so that was cool too.
Can you get some people in?
You have to volunteer coach.
Oh, that's where it's at. Sweet.
Is
That's
that how you
easy.
got your?
What? No,
You have to lottery in or volunteer coach.
I know it's crazy.
Oh, is that what it
to
is?
get in that.
We
Yeah.
were talking about just doing our own.
Is that the name of the
Like, we
organization,
just
Mighty
go
Bikes?
Mighty
bike with
Bikes.
our
It's
kids.
awesome. It's
It is,
incredible.
but it's tough to get in.
It's so tough to get in. We tried to lottery in a couple years in a row, and then I volunteered to coach, which they do make space for kids if you coach, or at least historically. I don't know if the rules would change with that, but lotteried in and volunteered, then coached, and it was fun coaching. I
yeah.
got out biking more probably because of it.
yeah. What kind of
but-
qualifications do you need?
I mean, you need to.
Can
I think you need to
bike?
submit some sort of like resume
Do you
esque
need
like
like a video?
no, but maybe like a person reference of someone that
How
like
about a video?
We know
Right.
Jen. She bikes real hard.
Have you
Like,
seen my Instagram? Come on.
How about
Yeah.
look at
how
this
about
jump.
a video of me doing backflips on my trampoline on my bike
Yeah,
in the
there you
wintertime, just bouncing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's in.
I don't know if they'll take
he's
that,
in.
guys. But they do like a coach's training session and stuff. It's an awesome organization. But yeah, biking, we're not, I feel like I have my imposter syndrome's flaring up. We do hunt a little bit, but I'm not like, hunting's not my like main core thing. But yeah, like backpacking, trail running, fishing. I've hunted for birds.
Nice.
That's the only thing that I've.
Nice.
I've been on a deer hunt and other things, but I have personally only
Cool.
Ptarmigan or
ptarmigan and grouse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Where I kind of trailed off there, but yeah, like a lot of the
Pack
Alaska
rafting?
stuff. Oh
Rafting?
yes, sorry.
Yeah. You guys take the family out? Is each kid got a pack raft?
Pack
You guys have a big
rafting,
raft?
we haven't done kids stuff. Pack rafting just seems like a pretty risky thing for kids
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So
Agree.
we've been really lucky to have awesome. The grandparents always take the kids for a little bit of
Perfect.
grandparent
Yes.
one-on-one time,
Yeah.
and we get kid-free adventure time. So like for the
Gotta
last
have that.
the last 3 or 4 years, we've been able to do big adventures. So Hale and I, husband Hale, we've done like Brooks Range, Gates of the Arctic, pack rafting trips and stuff like
Sick.
that. So
Awesome.
yeah, kind of like I really love long multi-day trips. Back in the day before kids, we used to do kayak, like expedition in quotes kind of trips. We kayaked 175 miles from Hoona, Alaska to Sitka, Alaska. So
Yeah.
it's completely self-planned, self-supported. 3 weeks worth of your own food and
It
everything.
seems so
jammed into-
hardcore, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of hardcore. It's kind of
It's
awesome though
awesome.
too.
I mean, you're like inches off of cold ice water for
Yeah.
3 weeks and
Yeah.
weather and all that.
And
I-
not seeing other people for at least like 9 days.
I'm
and
like,
that,
dude,
so.
anybody that does that, dude,
Yeah,
you are
that's
fucking
a lot
about
of
it.
fun.
You
They
like, you
do-
must love misery.
They do some sort of like girl adventure, young women, like girls, like somewhere between 12 and 18 adventure camp doing the same thing.
Oh,
Like
cool.
where they're down in that same area, Hoona, Sitka, and they spend 2 or 3 months,
Yeah.
going around. I forget what it's called. I'll figure it out. But they go around and they self-supported, and then they just like the girls team up and build like shelters with just tarps on the beach.
Yeah.
And you just sleep under the tarp.
Oh, that's so cool.
Seems pretty
They're
bad.
looking
Yeah.
for coaches.
They're looking for
So yeah, there you go. You want your in.
My schedule's a little full. My schedule's
hard, the
maxed
lottery.
out, but it sounds awesome. Oh yeah, that could be something I could be convinced to do. But
That seems
definitely
awesome.
seems worthwhile. But yeah, we love a lot of the like land, like travel by self-propelled
Yeah,
Yeah.
transportation, wilderness stuff.
that's awesome.
That's funny. Like we plan when we do our anniversary, like, okay, we're gonna go do the Kasugi, or
Yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
go float this or that, and people are like, you're gonna do what? Like, you're not gonna go to some hotel or
Tahiti?
something.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
yeah,
like, no,
yeah.
I'm gonna go get away from the kids and actually do
Enjoy
something.
Alaska.
Exactly. I was wondering when he was talking about his childhood experience over there and pointing at Brandon over there.
Yeah. You nailed it.
Yeah, I was
Is
like,
it Brandon or Daniel? Which one
it's
is
Brandon.
it?
It's Brandon for sure. Yeah.
got-
Okay, so you can go Brandon or Dandon. It works.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. When he was saying about his childhood hunting experiences and how, he had low expectations of what to get, I feel like we've created a lot of those experiences for our kids. For instance, like our Admiralty Island trip, a week of beautiful, hot, sunny weather, fishing all day, like tiny
Nothing.
dollies like this.
Yeah.
And I think they had to be like 17 inches or something in that lake to keep them. And it's
It's a
like
pretty good sized
it's
fish.
big. That's
Yeah.
big.
It's big.
We were getting like
Yeah.
just like
Stock-
8-inch.
pan-fry stalkers,
Yeah, like they
right?
had just stocked it size.
Yeah.
And so it was just like
Which you're
I'm
catching
like,
and it's fun, right?
yeah, but like 3 in a whole day. So I think my kids are set up really well for like
Perfect.
really low expectations of what
Yeah,
happens when you
there
go
you go.
fishing. You're just out there and you're just spending time together.
Yeah.
And the old cliche, it's fishing, not catching, kids.
There you go.
It's fishing,
Yeah.
not catching.
So
I think that's the best when they go out and they
I'm
don't
telling
really
you,
get
man.
anything and
I'm
they
telling
suffer.
you.
Because you go
Yeah.
out and you have their first time is like bam, boom,
Yeah.
boom,
Oh,
fish,
yeah.
boom, boom, and then the next time you go and you're not, they're just like,
yeah.
this isn't fun.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool spot out there. If you ever have a chance to get out there, Admiralty Island, like, it's completely remote. There's only one community that lives on the island, and there's that whole series of trails and lakes, portage route across the island, and then each of the lakes is stocked with a rowboat, so you can even like
Oh, that's
go to
cool.
the Forest Service cabin there, and there's a rowboat stocked with oars, or you could fly in with a little outboard motor and put it on the boat and then go out on the lakes and like hike over to another lake, and then you get to the shore of the other lake and there's another rowboat there. We also brought pack rafts with us just
Yeah.
for like lake crossing and stuff like that, but
Way cool.
It's pretty
awesome.
cool.
Great hunting on Admiralty. I think too. Deer, black bear, brown bear.
It's the highest
it.
concentration of black bear in the world.
Admiralty.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
It's
Yeah, I think it rivals Vancouver Island.
it's something. Yeah,
something like
I don't
that.
have my facts straight
Yeah, I
on
think
that, but it's
Vancouver
like
Island might actually be that, but
Oh, we'll
that
get to
one
the
is.
trivia soon.
yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Whoa, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
the word for Admiralty, I think in the local native language they call it Kootsnuwu, which means fortress of the bear.
Oh,
Yeah, and I think it is like one of the densest population of bear.
That's
Jen's
pretty
already
maybe
dropping
per
facts.
it's like
I'm just
land's
preempting your
mass.
trivia
Okay,
moment.
okay.
Yeah. Challenge me now.
Yeah, what? How many?
Cap or fact?
How many bears on Admiralty Island? Braniel.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Good.
We'll let Jack get the trivia. Trivia won't be till a little bit later. Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters and outdoor enthusiasts with the highest quality gear and equipment since they opened their doors in 1963. Barney's carries exclusive brands such as Alpaca Rafts, Sitka, Sims, Exo Mountain Gear, Hilleberg, and much more. Barney's prides themselves with keeping a huge stock on hand of various top-of-the-line tents, footwear, sleeping bags, optics, cross-country skis, just to name a few. Barney's is also the exclusive retailer of Montana knives, Seek Outside, Kafaru, Stone Glacier, and their in-house brand, Frontier Gear of Alaska. Barney's has a superior selection of top-rated boots, sleeping bags, dry bags, mountaineering gear, electronics, and accessories. Need freeze-dried food or mountain snacks? They got that too. Barney's now has an amazing new paperback catalog available for in-store pickup or online order. Visit them today at barneysports.com, or even better, stop by the store in Anchorage at 906 West Northern Lights. If you want the best, there's only one name in the game, Barney's Sports Chalet.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaska public lands, waters, and wildlife. From national level policy work to engagement with boots on the ground projects from Kotzebue to Ketchikan. BHA performs public land cleanups, hunting and fishing clinics, and community education to help take your game to the next level. BHA's community-minded goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping wildlands wild and fostering the next generation of sportsmen and women for years to come. Make sure to follow BHA Alaska for upcoming events, local brewery pint nights, and more. Stand up for Alaska public lands and waters by supporting the Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. Join us today at backcountryhunters.org.
The Treehouse AK, your one-stop dispensary located at 341 Boniface Parkway. When you pull up to the Treehouse, you'll notice the beautifully hand-drawn art by Alaska's own Ted Kim. Once you get inside, you're going to see many of the same people that have been there since they opened. The bud tenders know you and what you like and what new product you should be checking out. The store is super clean and the music's always on point. The Treehouse and local owner Josh Boots is a staple in the cannabis culture through his music, community givebacks, and a lifetime desire to bring the people of Alaska the best products available. The Treehouse always has at least 25 strains available, and they're all shown prominently deli style in clear, openable jars so you can see and smell your options. Other products include edibles, concentrates, vape carts, pre-rolls, flour, dab rigs, and anything else you need, they got it. They also have some pretty sick merchandise for sale. Check out thetreehouseak.com, or better yet, stop by the Treehouse today and get started on their loyalty program. Remember, you must be 21 years of age to enter their store. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
Like at 7, the kids are still like in this black and white kind of age where, you know, they're like either inside or outside people. Because I'm like, we're outside people, you know, or I'm an outside person. You get to choose what you want to do. And so then, you know, last year in their kindergarten class, they got to write like a book. And at the end, it was about the author. And both of them wrote something that they're outside people. I thought that was cool.
That's awesome.
But as they get older, like towards your kid's age or Mateo's age, it's like it's not going to be as black or white anymore. And when I'm kind of fearing a little bit like how I deal with the gray area.
Yeah. What I've seen a lot is just that, you know, you have 2 siblings and the younger one gets dragged along on things that are a little too epic for them too early.
Yeah.
And they end up just thinking outdoors is misery rather than outdoors is fun.
Sure.
So we try to like really check ourselves that it's still fun for the younger one.
Yes.
And then, of course, it means it's maybe not as exciting as it could be for the older one or for us.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like, I just have so many friends that either are the older sibling that love the outdoors, and they're like, oh, my younger sister or brother doesn't like to do any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So we have that.
Yeah, I think it's a
Baggage
part
or
of
fear.
like my youngest doesn't like to go fishing, but he really likes archery and other stuff, drawing and art. So we'll bring out the chalk stuff, and we'll bring the archery stuff so that he can do stuff that he likes to do out there while his brother's fishing or whatever.
Yeah, the kids both like fishing. We got them both bows, so they practice archery.
That's fun. And it's easy to bring around, and like the BB guns and stuff like that.
They haven't touched firearms yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that's not my department.
Yes.
I mean, it's a challenge.
I'll let Grandpa and
Send him to Canada for a couple weeks. And come back.
That's right. So, grandson, we wrangle beers with our bare hands.
Here's the bison.
It just seems like there's a little bit more of a challenge in the bear to entry with acclimating your children to the outdoors in today's world than maybe the world we grew up in our childhood.
Where you just get kicked outside and you're like, go play outside. Come back at dinner.
You know, I not to like drive this stupid ass point to the ground, but the technology and the phones and the shit, that is what the challenge is. There's a lot easier ways to have a way to make a kid feel good about stuff. Video games, social media, interacting socially with other children or friends on phones and devices. Yeah. It's immediate satisfaction and interaction versus the effort of going outside, walking down the street to a homie's house, knock on the door, can't play, okay, go down the street to this dude's house, knock on the door, come out after dinner, I'm doing my homework. Like, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a lot of work to go out and play. Suit up in your gear. Go climb the snow mountain hill in the middle of the circle that the plow trucks or the graders built. And it's just easier to jump on your Xbox and call dude down the street and play some football or whatever. And
do you guys all like kind of have some sort of limits on screen time or like must play outside before screen time stuff?
My kids get 1 hour a week on their thing during the week.
Wow, that's good.
And they can split it up. They can do, that's just what we do. They can do like 20 minutes, or they can do it all in one shot in 1 hour, but they get it 1 week. And then they get more time on the weekend, but guess what? Like, we're not in phone signal on the weekend.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So they
That's
might
great.
here and there get like, a half day of playing whatever that, Minecraft or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
If we just happen to be home early on Sunday or something.
Yeah.
But I think I found, and I was actually pretty, I wouldn't say surprised, but I thought about it, like bringing out, going with other family members, or not family members, but other families that have kids. It doesn't even matter the age. Like Mateo was so stoked because he was just hanging out with me and my brother and our other friend, like 3 adults. He has no one to really like messing around.
And he does good with adults.
He does good with adults, and he did really. And he was
like
so excited to like go hang out with the twins, which are like half his age.
Yeah,
but he's like, oh, kids,
Like,
I want to go.
And they had a blast
jump around
shooting guns and
yeah.
He gets to be like the big brother, big cousin, leader of the crew, and he does really good with that too. Mateo's such a good boy.
I think that
good point though.
Like out there, like when you're with your buddies and they're with their buddies, they don't want any of the screen time. And then at home, they have to read books. So it's like they read 1 book a day. That's just the rule. But if they read more, then every book on top of that builds 5 minutes of screen time for the week. They don't get it then. So, I mean, if they read 100 books, which is a shitload for a first grade, they've never done that, and then they'd have 500
I think that's good.
minutes at a time. But
I mean, the pool is really, really, really hard. I told my wife I'm not having any of our stuff connected to like the text and that. Because she's like telling me like, oh, this girl's like FaceTiming at like 5 a.m, and she's like in 5th grade, and like these text groups and all this stuff that the kids are doing. Our kids don't have phones. Like he's probably the only one at Romig that doesn't have a phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
We just got a phone for our oldest one. We don't have a landline, and there's
Yeah.
we're kind of
Okay.
entering that stage of life where communication may need to be happen.
Yeah, it's tough, but I think,
But it is tough
when you
because
get
it's
the
like
phone, I think they can't have it at night. Like
yeah,
in
we
their
plug
bed.
it in somewhere else, and we have like it so that it maxes out what things you can do on it for a certain time. Other than
you
you
got
can
them an
still text
iPhone?
and it's an iPhone.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. We have a time limit. And then Mila has to request more screen time after 10 p.m.
Okay, yeah.
It was 10 p.m. for the summer. We were going to change it, but our household is not the normal household for as far as like kids go to bed early. We're so busy in basketball practice and things go late.
Yeah.
There's none of that. But
Yeah.
if you limit it, they still are addicted to it. There's no way around that.
Yeah.
But at least you have that opportunity. Because we did the same
Yeah.
thing. Daughter gets off the bus. She goes home.
Yeah.
I want to text him home safe. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. And you can limit how
Yeah.
much time they're spending doing non-texting and phone related things. So that's what we've got set up.
But it's not that hard to do once you get it
No.
set up.
There's
Yeah.
also some cool newer technology coming out where there's these like watches
Yeah,
that
I've
you
seen
can
other kids
only
with the watch.
communicate.
Yeah, you
Those
can
are cool.
reprogram the
Yeah.
numbers and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
of my daughter's friends have those.
Yeah, we have a
And-
neighbor boy that has that.
And we might get that when next year my son will go to middle school, but she'll still be in elementary school. So
Yeah.
we might get that at that time just
Nice.
to have
Yeah.
something there.
And then those like Rocky Talkies are great for like kids.
We just got the Rocky Talkies.
They're
this
awesome.
last
Rocky
winter.
Talkies?
They're,
Whoa,
yeah,
whoa.
They're
What
like
is
a
that?
durable, pretty decent long distance
like
radio.
I've tested them up to 9 miles, and they work great.
9 miles.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, line of sight
Rocky.
9 miles.
Yeah,
Talkies.
for
But,
sure. We
yeah.
used them at Aklutna Lake, but I didn't really think about how far we got away from each
Yeah.
other. But they worked for a really long distance
Yeah.
at Aklutna Lake. That was amazing.
If you go to, I think it's the high channels, then I think that's how it works. the high.
Rocky Talkies. I'm gonna look
But
into
those
that.
are great
Yeah.
because it's like if the kids need to communicate like skiing or like in the neighborhood, it's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna give you a phone. Here's a Rocky Talkie.
Yeah.
Carabiners on, so you're not
Yeah.
gonna lose it. And then it's like they're not getting phone, but they, all the stuff that comes with the phone, but then they,
Yeah,
can
we,
communicate.
we all have
Dig it.
special radio names
Oh,
in
you
our
do?
family.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
Yes, we
Code
do.
names?
Niner,
yeah, well-
niner.
Yeah, they all got invented when we were on a family trip in Canada and skiing in the Rockies with grandparents and stuff.
Did the kids make them up?
Yeah.
Perfect.
My
let's
son
see
is
it.
Rubber Ducky.
Okay.
My daughter, whose name is Ember with an E, she's Firefox.
Oh, nice.
oh, wow.
I'm Ski Turtle.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
And for some reason, I can't remember what my husband's name is right
Are
now.
you a
but
slow skier? Or?
no,
Oh.
I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Sea turtle. Okay.
Sea
okay,
turtle,
okay,
sea
got
turtle.
it.
I have
All
no
right,
idea. Where do kids get names? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? these
My
things.
my mom's mother hen.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
My
good.
dad, who's you got some male pattern baldness, is bald eagle.
That's great.
What about dad? What's dad?
For some
It'll
reason,
come to her
I can't.
later.
Yeah, I'll think about it. I got to dust off the last winter files in my brain. We didn't.
man.
We didn't use them that much this summer, but we'll use them in
Okay.
the winter a lot.
It is funny that you bring that up because
Codename Raptor.
skiing, the kids did make ski names, and I
Yeah.
wonder if that's a ski thing.
Yeah, because you're on the chairlift, or
Yeah.
like even when we don't go like extreme backcountry skiing with them, but we've been getting into backcountry
Yeah,
skiing a
yeah.
little bit, like very shallow angle slopes, and it's just great if you're like different speeds going up the trail or whatever,
Yeah.
and especially winter safety. Like it feels like that's important.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
No,
Who's
for
got
sure.
the food? Who's got the layers?
Yeah.
Yeah, and anytime your kid gets out of your sight, it's just natural as a parent to kind of like not freak out, but just
Get
your-
really
everything.
pissed.
Yeah.
Well, or just everything heightens awareness
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
where are they at?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, we had a
Just
kind of
can't
big
help it.
family like get together where it was like my parents, our family of 4, some old friends. We all like kind of met at a place, and it was like 13 of us at various stages of things. So it was like, hey, we got 4 of the radios, and give one to each kind of group that's sort of staying
Groups.
together, or better yet, put one on each of the kids.
Yeah.
And then at least and one adult at least have one.
So the Rocky Talkies are kind of like the Motorola ones that were out a long time ago.
Oh, dude.
Okay.
those are
Just
the
on
best.
steroids, and they're built like Alaska Tough. Like
Oh,
they're,
yeah.
they're like you're in reach. Like they're made to like
Oh,
go
I'm on it.
underwater and all
On
that
it.
stuff.
And it's
Yeah.
the best, like, if you obviously we're all going to a lot of birthday parties.
Yeah.
Like the present, because even if they already have it, like, oh no, we
yeah.
have 4. you
Wow.
know?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you can never have enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's a good idea.
Great gift idea.
yeah, like some people in like backcountry skiing have those backcountry access ones that have the 2 parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These ones apparently have as good of a range as those,
Okay.
but they're like in that more robust I mean, nothing against
they're
Backcountry
tiny.
Access. They make amazing
Yeah.
products. But just like,
Those things are rugged.
yeah, I feel good about giving a kid one to play in like snow, wet,
Yeah.
inclement weather in
Accidentally
Alaska.
run over their
Totally.
bike. It's
Yeah,
not going to break.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call on the Rocky Talkies.
Those are fun.
Totally.
Oh, they do have the Caribbean. I just pulled it up on the
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah, I think
okay.
Brandon had him on the raft trip this year.
Not this Brandon.
Brendan.
looked at you.
Brandon.
Brendan. Yeah. That's
So
who-
what's the
I'm not a rafter.
mountaineering? What's the? There's like another high tech one for backcountry.
In
is
the
there?
ski
Oh, look at
world,
the-
people either have
look at the
Backcountry
photo with the
Access
kids.
or they have the Rocky Talkies.
Oh, okay, that's a different brand.
Different brand.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
and it's like a way bigger kind of thing, right?
There's two parts to it. So I think the idea with that is you have like the more fragile part like in your backpack, and then you have this like peripheral thing that's hooked onto your back closer to your mouth.
Right.
Whereas these are just
Like
like
it's a
bomber
mic.
robust things you
Yep.
just have right there.
What'd you call it again?
The other ones?
Yeah.
BCA Backcountry Access. That's another brand. They make like
that's like
they make like
Avi gear
avalanche
and-
backpacks and stuff.
Okay, yeah,
But
a
I
lot
was
of
just-
snow machiners rock that.
Yeah, so some people or somebody I know had two of those and two Rocky Talkies, and they're like, honestly, functionally,
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause a
Oh,
lot of
so it
guys
connects
will-
to like a really high grade one. Oh no, that's the thing. Okay,
Well,
gotcha.
one
gotcha.
is
like
the
a
one is the
mic.
walkie-talkie, and the other one is like a mic
Yeah.
and a speaker, maybe combo, right?
So like
Could
if
be.
you, if
So
you're
see,
like,
snow machiners, they'll have that in their pack, and they'll have that right here, so they can reach and grab it and talk.
Right.
yeah. Whereas the Rocky Talkie is just one all in one unit right there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you see the gal right there, that
Yeah.
one, yeah, and she's kind of
Got
like a police officer is able to just kind of grab his walkie-talkie and
Yeah,
Niner,
that would be a
niner,
good like
149er.
family Christmas present to everybody in the
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, no, you
Totally.
got my gears turning and all
That is
that.
great.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
So if it's cool with all y'all, I'd like to switch gears a little bit. Because we have an agenda and some things that I'm dying to hear about.
Okay.
Your not only maybe just I know we touched on a little bit of your intro and history, the Canadian stuff. I was just been looking into you the last couple of days here, and
Okay.
your history with material designing, Ireland, Lululemon, like. Elaborate on this. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Man,
They're
what have
kinda
you
like,
been? What have
left
you been
field.
doing? I'm like, you
A
work
lot
for
of different-
Lululemon?
Yeah, it's
I'm
so-
wearing some joggers right now. Like,
Nice.
did you design these?
Maybe I developed that fabric back
you
in the
did.
day. Maybe they still use a lot of those fabrics.
Let's get into that. How'd you get into material designing?
Okay, so undergrad was in chemistry of all things with a minor in business.
Okay.
And as a job, when I was in university, I worked at a Lululemon store, which turned out to be their flagship store in Vancouver, Canada. And I just nerded out big time on the product and got moved into the job that trained any new employees on product, in-store experience, etc. And I worked there before they went huge, like before they went public, right when they were starting to get like big equity investment and stuff. So it was kind of a lot of their growth had come from like grassroots stuff, and it was like a real movement, like
real
exciting
fun
time.
Yeah.
So fun. So yeah, I worked in the flagship store, and when they started hiring all these big executives from other big brands like Nike and Solomon and stuff, they would
Wow.
send them to me at the flagship store, and I would train them on the fabrics and the product and everything. And one of these people was the new incoming senior materials manager, Karen. She was like, "What is your deal? Like, why do you know this much? Like, why are you such a nerd about these products? Like, what's your story?"
Yeah.
And I told her I was just liked products and liked the features of them and liked the technical properties that I know about fabrics. And then she also was like, "Well, what are you studying in school?" I was like, "I'm about to graduate from chemistry." She's like, "Come for a job interview." And she hired me to be a materials developer. So basically, like straight out of school, I got this awesome job at the head office at Lululemon in Vancouver and got to go to Asia and see fabric mills, be like the liaison between the designers at Lululemon that needed the different like technical properties for the products they wanted to develop. So I was like this middle person between the designer and the fabric mill,
Wow.
having the fabric mill develop new fabrics for Lululemon to use
Yeah.
for future designs. It was amazing. And I fell in love with the industry and the fact that that was a thing that's possible. And so that's like a really big foundational building block to like what I love in this planet, what I would go on to do right now with Alpine Fit and all that stuff. So that's that
Well,
nugget.
and you were already out recreating enjoying
yeah.
outdoors
Yeah, yeah,
and using
So,
gear like
yeah, so-
Patagonia or
Totally.
some like polyester materials that perform, but you probably were thinking with your
Yeah.
mind for chemistry and design, like there could be better stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like I mentioned, I started visiting and doing outdoor adventures in Alaska in 2004. Obviously, I did a lot of outdoor recreation in the Vancouver, British Columbia area as well. And that time where I was a materials developer also coincided with when we did that 3-week trip that I mentioned earlier.
Oh yeah.
And also, I left that job to go backpacking and do outdoor adventure and like travel, hostel staying and stuff in South America right all around that same time. So yeah, that was a very, formative time to kind of have this like nugget, this awesome job that I chose to leave, which was weird, but sometimes you got to do that because you only have one time in life to kind of go be a dirtbag hostel staying backpacker.
Yeah. You have to do that when you have that opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I saw that, I'm like, wow, that's sounded like some amazing opportunities.
It was, yeah.
And it was the early stages before they blew up.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they weren't really, they were like barely in the US at that time. Like they had a handful of stores, but people didn't know them like they know them now.
No, it wasn't mainstream.
Totally. And it was like, just like we were all wedged in this like very rough around the edges head office. Like my desk was like just like kind of like a board shoved in between other people. Like we were just wedged in there like sardines, like not what their gigantic campus is that they would have now.
I bet it's just blown up since then.
Yeah.
So did you build some good connections
totally
overseas and stuff?
Yeah, but we've really focused with domestic manufacturing with what we've done. So like, yes, but there's actually really interesting fiber suppliers that work within the U.S. They supply mills and stuff overseas as well. But it was a good entryway into the fabrics that I've developed for us to use at Alpine Fit for sure. Yeah.
Cool.
And then you also asked about Ireland. I can explain
that
too if you want.
That was my next question. So
I don't need to.
And if I remember right, you owned a store in Ireland.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So another building block of this thing. So at Alpine Fit now we offer fit options for body shapes. So in every size for men and for women, we have in every size we have more than one fit shape. So for men, we have a fit that is called Granite Fit, and it has more room in the waist. And we have a fit called Cinder Fit, which is supposed to be like cinder cone. It's more tapered to the waist. And
athletic fit, I guess you call that. Or slim fit.
People have just different body dimensions. It doesn't necessarily have to mean athletic, non-athletic. It's
especially
just like
Alaskans. We've got real interesting body styles.
We do.
Yeah, and in women's we have a fit that's more easily described as curvier or straighter, but basically different proportions for the bust, the waist, and the hips.
Is that the Azalea?
Azalea's curvier.
Is that after the rapper girl?
No.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
What?
You're talking about the white girl rapper?
Yeah.
Oh, she's quite curvy.
Okay, well, she would probably wear Azalea fit then.
Quite all of it.
I named the fits after
All right, I gotta pull her up.
curvy and straight have different meanings to different people. So we picked Alaska Alpine Wildflowers as names just because I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever. You got to pick a name.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, it's
something.
definitely
It's a name. They're names.
It's unique, and it's not as I didn't know Azalea was a Alaskan flower.
We have the Alpine Azalea. They're those really cool little tiny pink ones.
Not after the Australian rapper girl.
No, not after the Australian rapper.
We got her pulled up here. Let's get a curvy.
You probably heard some of her songs. Get a curvy shot. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got some stuff going on.
So anyway, that part of what we do is informed by the fact that I lived in Ireland, and how I could live in Ireland for 5 years was by coming up with a way to have a status to stay there.
Okay.
So my husband was studying at school there, and there was no status for like a spouse or whatever of a student. So I had to come up with my own like legal reason to be there or ability to be there. And I discovered that there was something called business permission. And most countries actually have this. Like if you can prove that you're going to move somewhere and contribute economically to the local economy, hire locals, etc., and prove like that you're going to do it and then do it, you can apply for a status in Ireland called business permission. So I discovered that this brand that I liked from Canada that was bras, underwear, and swimwear, so a lingerie store, a Scandinavian brand of lingerie was expanding in Ireland, and they didn't have any locations in the town in Ireland we wanted to move to. So I just like cold contacted them and was like, hey, you don't know me. I'm in my mid-20s. I'm moving to Galway, Ireland. Can I please like open a store and carry your stuff?
Yeah.
And they were like, okay. So how that matters for the fit thing is that brand is unique because they offer over 100 sizes, so like the band and the cup sizes.
Oh wow.
A lot of brands just offer like 24 or 36 sizes, but offering over 100 means like every woman could get a custom like fit right out of the store. So that kind of was like
It's
a really
gonna
big
be
deal.
a fit for everyone.
Totally. And so like, yeah, I literally just moved to Ireland, rented a space, hired 2 staff to help me, stocked it with merchandise, and like had a business and had a net profit in the first year, and thought, hey, I could do business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a lot harder to start a brand from scratch, let me tell you, but that was really cool and like a bizarro side chapter of my life, and I love living in Ireland.
What brand was it?
The brand's called Change. It's literally not in the U.S. at all.
Oh.
It's like a Scandinavian brand, Change of Scandinavia or Change Lingerie. Yeah, it's like a European brand.
Yeah, that's rad.
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah.
And how long were you guys there?
5 years.
All right.
Yeah. So it was pretty awesome. And then, yeah, we just decided, like, we ended up having our first kid when we lived over there, and then our second, and it was time to just be closer to family and move back and pursue, like, jobs and stuff back here.
Was it hard to give that up? Because
yeah.
let's rewind.
I sold it to a staff member of mine, so it kept
perfect.
going.
Oh,
So
good,
and I had
good.
a little nest egg for coming back here and saving
Nice.
for. Well, we ended up spending the nest egg on a deposit on a house in Anchorage,
Yeah,
but
because you kind of you restarted, right?
yeah, basically.
Well, because let's back up. You went to school.
I went to
must have went to
school.
a good school to graduate in chemistry.
University of British Columbia.
Okay, sounds legit.
Yeah,
It's real. It's
real.
accredited.
A job with Lululemon, which
yeah.
I think most people listening to this would say that's a dream job.
The dream job that I had at their head office was a dream job.
That today would probably be paying.
Oh, a lot.
Really
I
well.
could have had a really amazing like career if I had stayed on that track. It's just not what I chose to do.
And then moved to Ireland, start a business.
Yeah, we saved up to travel.
Okay.
We saved up for a lot to go travel and live like hostel life in South America for 4 months. So we went to South America for 4 months. Husband got into school in Ireland while we were in South America. We're like, let's move to Ireland.
Yeah.
Wow, just free birding, huh?
And then before we did that, we came back up to Alaska to do that 3-week kayak trip.
Oh,
And
that
then
was it, huh?
Yeah.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, and then he had student loans to do the school thing in Ireland. I needed to have a job and somehow locate also in Ireland. So
Okay.
that's what we did. So I had the business and somehow made it be profitable, which is hard to do as an actual company.
Yeah, I just find it really amazing that you had the courage to give up something that was probably felt like a guarantee future. The Lululemon game.
That was tough, but the
move.
timing of it is interesting. That was right in the big recession, the housing crash bubble explosion.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is a
2012?
2008, 9.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
And it was kind of like one of those moments like a lot of layoffs had to happen and people were like not this sounds cheesy. I'm like trying to like take off the rose tinted goggles filter of this, but like in the moment it was like, okay, now's the time in your life you've saved up. You could go do this adventure. Somebody else might choose your fate by firing you if you're
there was
part
some
of
uncertainty
if
there.
you're part of a layoff. Like
Yeah.
I got assurances that I was good at my job and was, you know, on a track that I could have stayed there for a long time and
Yeah,
grown
'cause you
within the
sound
company.
like one of the most talented people they had at the time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
sure that they had many more talented
You're sure selling it.
people. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we're done here, right? I'm gonna go.
And shows up.
Are you blushing a little bit? I think
Yeah. But yeah, it was cool. It was awesome. I loved it. But it was like, you know, you've got like a partner you're starting a life with. You have an opportunity to go travel in South America. You've got something like the recession happening and people getting laid off willy-nilly. And you're like, you know, take your own life by your own the horns and do that. It was like weird.
Yeah.
There was like a serious hard choice that definitely was not made lightly to do that.
Sure.
But do I regret traveling in South America and like having the ability to live in the moment from day to day? Like I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Love it.
Like
Love it.
I
Great
never, I
answer.
don't think I ever lived in the moment in my entire life. I think I grew up with a lot of like thinking about the future, reminiscing about the past.
Yeah.
And when you go traveling and you're just like, you don't actually have an agenda and you're just like, I need a hustle, I need food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like survival mode kind of.
Yeah. And now like when I go on vacation, I can just switch into that mode and I totally
Oh, 'cause you
attribute
know.
it to that time.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't regret it at all.
Great
but I
answer.
but I could have gone on a different path completely.
Well, another cliche, like timing's everything.
Yeah.
I you know,
Yeah.
sometimes for better and worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it lined up, right?
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you could have stuck it out and been a Lululemon bazillionaire, maybe, but like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have the experiences.
Yeah.
And who can
Yeah.
say they had a business in Ireland?
Not many people.
you're
It's
not
kind of
from
weird. I say
Ireland.
it to people and they just like do not
I
compute.
read that. And I'm like,
My daughter.
this gal's really interesting. What is going on here?
My daughter has an Irish passport.
Oh yeah, that's
Sweet.
rad.
Yeah, yeah. So my son, who was born there and lived there for 2 years of his life, doesn't have an Irish passport.
Oh, why?
Because the parents have to live there for at least 2 years
ready
before
for
the
a full
kid's
shot?
born.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Wow.
But then my daughter was born after we lived there for 2 years, so she gets the Irish passport.
Yeah.
So the kids both have Canada and U.S., and my daughter has Canada, U.S., and
That's
Ireland.
pretty rad. Yeah, my kids can get Italian and
sweet.
Irish.
Oh, nice.
Because the grandparents
Okay.
on both sides. But they just changed something in Italy, and now one of the grandparents has to go back for like 6 months or something because
Okay.
it's been so long.
Okay.
And I think he's gonna do it.
Yeah, he
they
should
still
do
have
it.
tons of family there.
Yeah, do it.
So yeah, I don't have any of that. So
So when did you move to Anchorage?
2014.
2014.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was when you started with Scoop here? Okay.
Yeah.
How was that? 'Cause I know that was pretty small.
Also a dream job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I just moved here and was like, is there any outdoor companies? Are there any cool head offices of cool companies that I could work at? I don't know what I should do here. Like, we've got 2 little kids. I need a job. Like,
Yeah.
and actually it was kind of funny. I went to Kaladi Brothers, like coffee. We were living like by the Tudor Muldoon curve, and went to Tudor Kaladi there, and was just like, oh, this is a cool company, locally roasted coffee. Maybe I should try to work at this company's head office. So I went and applied there, and they were like, you would be a good fit for the company that has offices downstairs called Scoop. And so they literally were like, here you go. And then, yeah, just like had an interview with them, and an outdoor apparel company that has head offices here. It was a great fit. So I basically,
I didn't know they had head offices
yeah,
here.
so they're designers in Sweden, but their whole North American operations are here in Anchorage, Alaska. So like production ordering, sales, like wholesale fulfillment, all that stuff is in Anchorage.
oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and they used to be in the Kaladi Brothers, the Brayton head office. Their office used to be in that building. They're not there now. They're downtown. But
Wonder why they chose here.
here's where you can sell down puffy skirts.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
I
a
mean, I
similar
think every
climate to like
lady,
northern Sweden.
every woman in
Yeah.
Alaska has one.
Yeah, it's
I'm sure.
there was a history connection of CC, the designer in Sweden, and Osa, who owns the U.S. side of the business. They were like old college roommates. So she went
okay.
over and was like, "What are these skirts? We could use these in Anchorage, Alaska."
Yeah.
She's from Sweden.
Uh-huh.
And she, I guess, brought like 10 skirts over, sold them to a few people, brought 100 skirts over, sold those, and then
Yeah.
was just like, "Okay, I guess we're
Yeah.
selling
Guess we're
Scoop."
doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've been I think the company's been around since 1998, but not in the U.S. since 1998.
Okay.
But yeah, I just like got a job there, and everyone who works there kind of wears a lot of different hats. So I was like going to the outdoor retailer trade show, and communicating with the reps and getting
Man, all
the
this,
REI
like,
orders fulfilled and stuff like that.
Training that just like led
Yeah.
to what you
They're,
did.
they're all building blocks.
Yeah. Let's take a break and then we'll jump right into it.
Okay.
Big Ray's, the Alaskan Outfitter, committed to outfitting Alaskans across the state since 1947. Whether you're a recreator, parent, guide, or corporate buyer, Big Ray's has the gear you need tailored for Alaska's harsh conditions. At Big Ray's, you'll find brands like Carhartt, Grundens, Darn Tough, FXD, Okiwear, and more. Big Ray's is your one-stop shop for both outdoor gear and rugged work attire. Check out their new exclusive line of durable but affordable waders, inspired by and named after the majestic Aralik River in remote western Alaska. The Rowlock Wader was designed by Alaskans and proven for the diverse waters of the last frontier. Visit Big Ray's at any of their 5 locations statewide, 2 in Anchorage, 2 in Fairbanks, 1 in Kodiak, or check them out online at bigrays.com.
Tailored Restoration, helping Alaskans turn disasters into new beginnings since 1972. Their 24-hour services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, and repairs. Tailored built its reputation with years of committed and reliable service to the community with innovative restoration and home remodeling. When you have an unexpected home issue at the most improbable time, Tailored has an emergency response number with trained professionals available to help you anytime, day or night. Tailored Restoration has locations to serve you in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Give them a call at 907-344-1239 or make an appointment today at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlander products. If you want to customize your vehicle, talk to the team at Total Truck, where you'll find their expertise along with top brands such as ARE, RSI Smart Caps, Goose Gear, iCamper, Frontrunner, Rigid Lights, Rhino Lining bed liners, and everything you need to outfit your truck or SUV. Want to turn your truck into a sleeping option? They have rooftop tents, custom camping equipment, electronics, and solar energy packages to keep you powered up deep in the backcountry. Stop by their store location on Dowling between the new and old Seward Highway, or check them out at TotalTruckAK.com.
Like a fingerless glove
Okay.
would be a good option.
Okay.
And maybe not crazy in terms of design, and then a price point that people can still buy it and you can move product.
Interesting.
I say that because I was just out on an archery bear hunt with my buddy this last Monday, day after yesterday, whatever, Monday this week. And I had bought some Sitka gloves that are like really tight, and they have like a pad on the front where you can actually like touch your phone
Use
and
your devices,
use your
yeah.
device. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, I roll these fingerless wool gloves.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh my God, that would be perfect. And I'm sure there's already like tons of guys that hunt archery
Are
and
they
do this.
thin
but
like a liner, or are
I'd
they
say like a
thick like a
medium.
Okay.
Not thick, not thin,
interesting.
but in between. So you
Yeah.
still have warmth,
Yeah.
but you still have the functionality of your hands with the finger, and then to be able to draw the
Yeah.
bow and
Yeah.
and still use your fingers and
Yeah.
knock an arrow and do all the things and grab your little clips for your binos or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
That I think would be cool.
Yeah.
A great option.
How long are your hands active versus you want them maybe covered?
That's a great question. And that's a really great question. I just think it depends on the activity.
Mm-hmm.
If you're riding a piece of equipment, a 4-wheeler or something, probably 50-50, if not maybe more, covered. And then, because you could kind of do like a flap style if you wanted to. Kind of think those are dorky.
Sure.
And I guess
I have a pair of those.
Yeah, I do too. And I have some other ones.
Cumbersome to do.
Yeah,
they're in the way.
They're great, but they're in the way. They're in the way.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's
more than
that's
they
why
are
I'm wondering
functional.
if they should be liner weight so you can put them inside a thicker glove.
Yeah.
Or
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that right.
I've
fit.
100% went to like the Maxi Flex, those like real thin work gloves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? They breathe on the outside, they rubber on the inside. And so they end up being like a liner for your other gloves. They were great for bow hunting, that you can hike in them. They're easy to come off. They're not cold when they're wet.
Oh, that's good.
And then you can bring like 3 pairs, so they dry out pretty quick. So something that is more built for the outdoors than those would be.
And I have an
money.
idea, but maybe we can talk about it after
Okay.
off the mic.
I love those ideas.
Yeah, because there's something that I want, and my buddy had one, and I'm like, dude, why doesn't anybody in Alaska make these?
Okay.
And I think we might have found Our Lady.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
talk about that off
Yeah,
the mic. But
Okay.
yeah, that what else was I thinking? Socks. Obviously, there's a lot of great sock companies and brands and things out there, but I love good socks.
Yeah. Nice.
And you either shitty socks or good socks. It's like one or the other. There is no in between.
That's
man.
correct.
You know?
The base layers. So we obviously specialize in base layers, and we specialize in odor resistant base layers. So we have merino wool, but we also have a base layer fabric. That's the one I I developed our merino wool fabric also to be slightly more durable, and it's responsible wool standard merino wool. That's a whole other topic.
Oh, okay.
But the really bomber odor resistant fabric, I developed it to have silver in the fiber of the fabric, so it's not a chemical that will wash out over time. The silver's permanently in the fiber of the fabric. It's a synthetic, so synthetic usually means extra stinky.
Yeah.
So it's recycled poly with the silver fiber in it. So it's quick drying like you want from a synthetic, but it has like you can feel it, soft, cottony feeling, so it doesn't feel cold to the touch or clammy. And the silver makes it literally inhibit the growth of odor-causing bacteria.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it continually, for like a week or even 2 weeks of continuous sweating, continually works to resist the body odor.
That's awesome.
That just like our bodies want to do.
Yes.
So, I guess a question for you guys that are hunters, we offer this green shade, but we don't yet do a camo print in Alaska.
Yeah.
Don't do it?
No.
Don't need it?
Nah, especially on a
Go
base
just with
layer.
the gray.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Everyone talked at once. What?
I think everyone said not camo.
Okay.
Well-
I don't currently make camo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do camo. I would do like natural colors that like
Earthy.
go well
Like
go well
mushroomy
in
color.
go well in different seasons. So
Yeah.
like in the fall you have like reds, you have the yellows and that kind of stuff. So you want to have some like a light brown kind of thing, or like a gray would work then.
Yeah.
And then
Like the same kind of gray as your thing there, or?
This is a little bright.
yeah, that one's bright.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think that like in the summer you'd want something that is like greenish brown.
I'd say even some maybe like the colors under your hat.
Yeah. Which is camo for everyone who can't.
Yeah, but I'm saying like just choose like one of those browns.
Yeah.
Just teasing.
Yeah.
So if I could just
Real
throw,
light earthy.
okay, so we have like an olive drab, which is very
Yeah.
greenish brown. You
Yeah.
got like a gunmetal, which is a grayish, darkish blue, more gray but like dark,
Okay.
and then a like dirt brown, maybe a little bit more toward mud, so it's like
Like
darker.
Alaska dark colored mud, or
I
like
just
glacial
those
mud?
are to me like earthy tones. Glacial mud would be more clay. That'd probably be more
Yeah.
like the gunmetal
Okay.
action going on there. But
Okay.
if I could just relate Alaskan color to the earthy tone, I'm thinking olive drab, dirt mud, and gunmetal gray.
So solids aren't
love those colors.
aren't great though. So
Solid
like
one.
adding like the heathered,
Yeah.
like
the
you
heather
have,
is better
Yeah.
than solid.
and then like if you ever find a flannel that meets
Yeah.
those colors, that's the hardest person to see.
Okay.
Like if you're spotting for your friends, like
Okay.
they're harder to see than the camo people.
What do you mean a flannel?
Just like a flannel,
Yeah.
like
But with
color.
earthy tones.
But if
earthy tones
when
in a like a plaid.
Yeah, plaid.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
plaid earthy is so hard to find because
Interesting,
it's
okay.
not solid.
Yeah.
So a lot of the guys that we hunt with like just have old wool shirts
Got
that
it.
are just earthy tones, and you just can't find them.
Okay.
Yep. So
Well, and base layers are underneath everything. So
In
there's no
Alaska,
need
yeah.
to have that camo. That's
Yeah.
always kind of silly to me, even though I have lots of base layers that are camo, but that's
Yeah.
the only way they designed
Yeah.
it. But
Well, it's just because you're not really hunting in the base layer. So why is it camo? You always have something else.
I would
Yeah.
I
over
would
it.
say, Jen, is that I don't know, maybe outside of Kuyu, and Sitka's got a couple designs, no one has really made the most badass Alaskan true camo.
Yeah. That's what I've
Origin's
heard.
pretty good, dude.
Origin's pretty solid.
Or
yeah, okay, okay.
I have
Good
an
point.
Origin jacket, and it was pretty good.
I'm
Okay.
more referring to let's like go basic shit like mossy oak and all that other
Yeah.
shit. We don't
Okay.
have, we're not like white-tailed deer hunters up here.
Yeah, yeah,
right? We
yeah.
don't have the same vegetation.
Yeah.
I'm talking like willows and alders
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
tussocks in September.
Yep.
August
Till
and
6 in
September.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a good name of a print or a song or a band.
Yeah.
Or an
that is-
album. An album. Tussocks
Yeah.
in September.
Damn, that's a really good one. It feels like it would be like a reggae band, maybe. I mean, because the
Arctic reggae
Kuyus and Sitkas do really well in the Alpine in the mountains.
Okay.
Like some of the Kuyu and Sitka stuff in, say, like Brooks Range is fucking spot on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I've taken pictures of Daniel laying there on a rock and like you can't even see him. He's so camoed in. It's crazy their design. But I'm talking about the 2,500 foot moose hunter in September.
Yeah.
Who's got the variations of those different colors and vegetation that I haven't really seen anybody design a camo. I know First Light had some cool shit. Origins is nice. Actually, Chad was rocking Origins fleece this Monday.
Nice.
That
I think the
was
plaid's
nice
a better idea
Yeah, the plaid would be great.
because then you could wear it to the club.
Yeah, you want to be able to wear your clothes around. And that's what I like about
Yeah.
the Origin design. It doesn't look that camo-y. Like,
Okay.
it's a modern camo.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. But old school at the same time, in a way.
Nice.
Where it kind of looks like, man, what kind of camo design is that? But that's what they rocked in the 60s and 70s, and that
Cool.
shit worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, bringing some of that vintage back.
The other, like, the biggest gap for, like, outdoor clothing is
Yeah.
quiet.
Quiet.
So,
yeah,
like,
I
all
really
these
think a
guys-
lot about the quiet, like especially
Yeah.
we make a pant for women called bushwhacking leggings.
Yeah.
And
Those are nice. I have to get my wife some of those.
you should.
Yeah. I want to ask you about those later,
Okay.
too.
Yeah, I like. Sorry, I kind of feel like I cut you off, but
No,
totally.
no.
When we were
I
looking for
cut you both
fabrics
off,
for
sorry.
that, it was like, okay, we actually cut that fabric cross grain because it gives the greatest direction of stretch, but also it's quieter.
Okay.
Rubbing this way,
Yeah.
it's going to rub. It's
Yeah.
quieter that way than straight of grain.
So
Yeah.
if you're rubbing your legs together, it's not.
Exactly.
Yeah, or
And
going
like it was
against bushes.
Yeah, it was a huge consideration for just even which fabric to pick in the first place, and then also like part of the direction of how to actually cut it and assemble it into the garment
Right,
was like
okay.
how quiet it is.
That's pretty cool.
Do you have any underwear in the silver?
Not yet, but we're working on it.
That would
Yeah.
be dope.
If you
Yeah.
want anybody
Men's
to prototype
underwear.
it,
Okay.
Oh my
I'm
God.
down.
Yeah,
All
we
right. Okay, we're
definitely
talking
can
about like
test
a
it.
boxer brief style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
boxer
Okay.
brief.
long down to almost the,
I thought you
the
said
bottom.
thong.
No,
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, you get enough scotch,
But a
in
little,
these
like a
things can
little
get kinda
thicker
funny.
than the
Long, but how long?
than the smart wool ones.
like right
Those are
above the
like,
knee.
man, you get any kind of like scratching on that, they're done.
Because I like the
Yeah.
compression
Yeah.
around the thigh
Yeah.
I'm sure.
where it's down all the way down to above your knee. I kind of like it, and then
That low?
yeah,
Like
because
the First Light ones? No.
yeah, I like it here. Let me tell
might
you
as well
why.
go
Let me
capri.
tell you, let me tell you
I'm
why.
listening.
Because I rock a tall sock that goes right below
Yeah.
my knee.
And it's almost like having the
And
other layer.
all I have is that gap is my kneecap.
Yeah.
And so if I don't want to wear a base layer
Yeah.
and it's, you're getting started early in the morning, it's cool. Now it's going to get it's going to get hotter.
Yeah.
I don't want a base layer. So I'll
Yeah.
kind of suffer through the morning of being a little more chilly. Typically, maybe you're hiking around more, so you're
Yeah.
not feeling it.
Yeah.
Mid-afternoon, you're now sitting.
Who makes
glassing.
that? The First Light ones?
Well, like just Monday, I was wearing the socks.
Buffalo?
No,
Darn tough.
Darn Tough hunter socks. So it's a medium merino wool,
Yeah.
all the way up to the bottom of the knee. And I just got some Stone Glacier merino boxers.
Oh, those
That
go all the way down?
those go down like right here. So
Okay.
I mean, I'd say like 4 or 5 inches was exposed from the bottom of the shin up above my kneecap. And I mean, okay. So now for the record, I did put a Sitka Polygene, I think is
Yeah.
their brand.
Yeah.
Where that's what they use to combat odor, but it doesn't work that long.
It's because it's a chemical, and what they do is they just basically
Spread it.
launder the fabric in it, and then it means it will wash out. It will wash
Yeah.
out when you sweat in it. It'll wash out when it gets rained on, and it'll wash out when you launder it. And
'Cause it
it's
does
just not a
work-
permanent technology.
It does
Wow.
work for like 2 hard trips.
Yeah.
And then I noticed, so this is the 3rd or 4th time I've worn them
Yeah.
at extended period of time.
Yeah.
Like just Monday, they got stinky.
Yeah.
I was like, oof.
Yeah.
That was only a day.
Yeah, that's why it's like I think it's kind of just a joke. It's just a sales gimmick if it's not
I'm
a permanent
sure.
technology.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it's maybe okay
feel
for.
that?
Sorry.
Can I feel that?
Oh, fabric.
This
yeah.
is the silver one?
Yep.
This is poly?
Yep.
With silver infused.
Yeah.
Do you,
Not-
is that,
yeah, you can say infused, but technically it's like co-extruded in the fiber.
Whoa.
Co-extruded?
Whoa.
Go ahead and
That's
write
pretty
that
rare.
down. I'll edit
I've
it
got
later in the
I've got
notes.
silver infused. I'm gonna edit that to co. We might have to. I'm gonna have to spell check that later.
Co-extruded.
Did you make up that word just now?
No, that's the
okay.
technical term.
You are
for
a
what it
chemist,
is.
so I believe
That's
you.
true.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about doing like a sleeping bag liner with that?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
shit,
yeah.
Jack, good one.
Yep. I haven't done it yet. Thank you for mentioning that because I keep bringing it up as an idea, and it's not clothing, so it seems like outside of our wheelhouse. But it is a piece of gear that you need, and you need on a lot of different types of
Oh, I
adventures.
spelt it.
And like part of like we have manufacturing here in Anchorage, and it makes sense to make many different things from the same base raw materials.
Sure.
Especially that you're going to deliver to the same customers, just like as a it's more efficient, economies of scale of bringing up the raw materials and everything. So, okay,
Yeah,
one more
it's
notch in
just
the
like,
positive column.
You
for
know,
that.
some of our sleeping bags are getting used like, you know, whatever,
Yeah,
90 days a year.
and you don't
they
wanna
get
wash it, like,
sticky,
every-
and it's
Yeah.
Oh, my
like at
bags are
10-day moose
nasty,
hunt
dude.
or
Yeah.
sheep hunt.
Yeah.
It's like if we could get like a really thin layer.
Yeah.
They, you know, and I would say that it would be the bottom would be open.
Okay.
So it would almost be like
Like
a
a
tube, right? So your
Okay.
feet could go out of it.
Oh, the bottom end.
Get
is
all
Yeah,
open.
the
bunched
bottom
up,
Yeah,
end.
so it's
you know?
a tube. It's like a giant neck gaiter for your whole body.
Yeah,
There you
exactly.
go. The
Exactly.
sleeping gator.
Yeah,
The sleeping gaiter.
it would be awesome. So
I love that. I'm writing
Write it down. The
Write it
sleeping
down.
gator.
Yeah.
Sleeping gator.
Is that
I
kind
hope
of
I
like
can understand
is
this
that like
later.
a hunter's snuggie?
Yeah.
But you could put a little draw.
Yeah, hunter snuggie.
You could put a little draw cord on the end, so like
Yeah,
when your
yeah.
feet
Oh,
are
you
cold,
could
you could
clamp it
draw
down.
cord it.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
that
then
won't ever
when
happen to
you're-
me, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have hot feet. We've dealt
Okay.
with this problem before.
Have you tried the down quilts yet, as opposed to a sleeping bag?
I haven't like
wanna
bought
try
a
that.
down quilt like that, but I bring my, like, if I'm camping on the road
Buitrago has a
system,
good
I
one.
Yeah.
just bring my down comforter from the house
Okay.
and sleep with that.
Okay. Yeah, we
In
go,
the ARPA.
yeah we rec-
Or a tent.
It's got flowers and shit on it, or what?
You bring the down blanket in
Yeah.
the tent?
Oh yeah, it's way better than a sleeping bag.
Really?
Yeah.
It sounds way better.
It is better.
yeah we
He
got
just
the
brings the bedding off of his home bed.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
You just bring the twin
Yeah.
size in the back of the truck.
No, it's
Bed?
king size. Yeah.
Talking about the
Yeah.
mattress.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah,
throw it in the two-man.
Yeah.
but yeah, the down quilts are pretty awesome. If you
Yeah.
like sleeping with we Enlightened Equipment makes a couple.
Yeah.
We have a single one and we have a double one now, which
Okay.
is amazing. And it's so like if you have an insulated sleeping mat already,
It's enough, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
You don't
and,
need anything
and then
under
add
you.
the Alpine Fit sleeping bag liner that we're gonna
Yeah,
make.
that's right.
But yeah, it's amazing because your legs have so much more freedom. You can buckle the sides on little clips, like a little bungee you can put around your sleeping pad, so you can keep the sides clamped down to your pad
Yeah.
when you
That's cool.
You
when you
to.
need to.
Yeah.
But in like the different temperatures that you have and like whatever, just being able to kick it off in the night, or at least just the freedom of being able to move your legs around
Yeah.
and your body around
Yeah.
is lovely.
We have
I'm a
one that's
huge
the
fan.
Whoopee, the Kafaru Whoopee one. That's what that is. And that's just like the motorhome or TV like blanket.
No,
Okay.
that's cool.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I kind of one thing that I feel like that's missing from my day pack, and I was really kind of assessing this as I was preparing for my little day trip this last Monday.
Yeah.
I got my puffies. I've got my gloves. I got my hat. I got I got all these pieces for my day trip. But what I really want is like I have the space blanket. I have like the
Sure.
SOS emergency, you
Yeah.
know. But I like one where I could just like throw it on while I'm glassing, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to put puffies on, but it's but I just need something to like just cover
Yeah.
up.
You need a scoop
That's,
skirt.
yeah.
Well,
like
I
going to
have
these
two of them,
baseball
but
games
they're
in the
for
fall.
the women in my
Okay.
life.
Yeah. Yeah, but they make they have made
I'm so
men's
jealous.
ones
I'm
too.
so jealous of my wife, man. She
I was
puts
talking
us-
about the kilt.
Oh,
Yeah.
the kill.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
You got to make it in Scottish colors.
Yeah, kind
Okay.
of manly.
Yeah,
maybe
pleated, plaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can it have some silver infused?
Got to.
It's got to.
Got to have the silver.
Co-extruded.
I'm
Yes.
really curious
Co-extruded.
how that feels on the bod.
This?
Yeah.
You should come
We got to
our-
come by the store.
Yeah,
We're going to come by the
by.
store.
Come by our workshop.
Now that I know you're there,
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
so
going to
we
be like,
have-
all right, Kevin, I'm going to go next door.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
guys all shop at Barney's Sports Chalet. We have a little shop within a shop inside AK Cycle Chic, which is literally attached to Barney's Sports Chalet. So
Yeah.
908 West Northern Lights. But you can also and probably should come to our workshop space, which is at 700 West 41st
people can come
Avenue.
in there?
Yes, we're there weekdays,
okay.
Monday to Friday, and you can see like the sewing machines, the fabric rolls,
Should
try
we
on
come do a
stuff.
little
That's
video
cool.
there?
Definitely.
That'd be cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. But yeah, you can try on the shirts. We have the stuff in stock.
Okay.
All right.
No
You gotta-
obligation to buy. Just try it on, feel the fabric.
I think you need to tell us how you started in the business now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Skip that.
What's
Well
this? Here's
done.
the origin story.
oh man. But we talked about bits and pieces of it already.
Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
breadcrumb trail. Where's
Okay.
the destination?
So you were at
Okay.
the swoop or
Scoop.
scoop.
Yep.
And then
So yeah, I was at Scoop, had a great job. I love whatever. It's great. But when you've maybe been an entrepreneur already, you kind of have this like call like, oh, I could own my own thing, do my own thing.
That's right.
So I made another tough decision to leave another great job because I had these ideas percolating that what is, like I love long adventures. We've already talked about that. And I've spent a lot of time on long adventures thinking about the things that I love about and do not love about the very tiny kit of gear you have with you on those trips. And so
I set out to refine this.
I set out, and I always borrowed products from other outdoor activity or not even like yoga and running and stuff to like piece together this actual ultimate kit for the things I like to do.
Right.
And combine the fibers that I like to do with the characters, or like to have with the characteristics I like to have. So anyway,
Just go full geek on it.
I nerded out.
Yeah.
I went to the fabric mill and fiber level, and I met with this. Anyway, it's
Can
all
I just
about.
pause you real quick?
Yes.
I tried to look in that one time.
Oh.
Dude.
Got to be a chemist.
Oh my God, you have to be a chemist.
And you have to be like tough
You have to know what you're
because you
looking
got to
for.
like call them and be like, "Hi, I'm nobody with no company with nothing. Can you please take me seriously and can we develop a fabric together?"
Yeah.
And they're like,
And they don't just
10
send you like a little bit.
The minimum's 10,000 yards. We
Yeah.
won't talk to you unless it's 10,000 yards, kind of thing. So anyway, I set out to like
Let me check my
meditate.
checking account.
Oh, how much is it?
Like
per yard?
the ultimate shirt, like the one shirt you need for a week-long adventure is kind of like what I was really stuck on. I was like, okay, we do backpacking, we do
Like a long sleeve top.
Well, I just do all these things. I do yes.
get wet,
ultimately,
you can get
I
dirty,
do
get
pack
sweaty.
rafting with a dry suit on. I do cross country skiing, downhill skiing, travel, all these things, and it's like, oh, on all of these, I'm always bringing some sort of long sleeve shirt. And it's usually the same one that I've kind of, or one or two, like what is the ultimate thing that I could have in this? And I love merino wool. I always say this like more recently, I could have had a whole business with just merino wool, but there's a million guys out there doing merino wool.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love merino wool, but I actually don't love wearing it in the summer. Some people do. But I kind of had this idea of what's this other like non-wool base layer that's year-round Alaska adventure layer. And so like I kind of meandered on a couple different fabric developments, got in touch with a couple different fibers that I was interested in, got them to take me seriously, and figured out how to like pay the minimum fees and get the serious conversations to start actually developing a fabric.
Yeah.
And so like literally I developed one different fabric, which I'm not going to tell you about because that may come to fruition in the future.
Okay.
We'll talk about it on the next
top secret
podcast.
one.
Okay, we'll talk about it on the next podcast.
Yeah, that it may never happen. I'll tell you someday. But like, I had this first idea and it failed bad. But I got like, I had to order by the pound. I had to order like 50 pounds of this fabric. I was like, how much fabric is 50 pounds of fabric? Like, what is that? I mean, I know now, but like,
It's not
is
that
it a
much.
box?
It's not that
Is
much.
it like,
Yeah.
it's not that much. It's a box.
Yeah.
Right, right.
It's like it adds up.
Is it all one?
In this case, it was one long piece that was still in a tube because it was a circular knit. So
Okay.
they knit it in a circle, and sometimes they cut that circle in half so it's flat so it can be on a roll. This was literally a tube of fabric shoved in a box from some like random fabric mill that I had found that would make this fabric for me.
Yeah.
And so I got this box of fabric, and I'm like, okay, well, I need to make it into a shirt.
Yeah.
So I like reawakened my 12-year-old self sewing skills. Got a little like serger sewing machine off of Craigslist. And got a home sewing long sleeve shirt pattern and sewed a shirt. And then I made one for me and I made one for Hale, and we did a 2-week kayaking trip, kid free.
Yeah.
We already had the kids, but the kids didn't come with us. We kayaked in Prince William Sound. We went from Whittier, we went down to like Neliwan Glacier and then back up and across over to Valdez. So we took these 2
Nice.
shirts on that.
Badass.
And the shirts failed. They failed.
Yeah.
They got snagged. They got
holes in 'em.
yeah, they just like, they bagged out. They were like
This thing
just
stinks.
It didn't stink. It didn't stink.
okay,
It didn't
okay.
stink. So there's still potential
All right,
there.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right,
It
all
didn't
right.
stink, but it wasn't
It checked
durable.
one box.
It checked the most important box.
Yeah, no, for
when you're
real.
sleeping in a 2-person tent for 2
Yeah.
weeks with
Well,
someone.
maybe
Yeah,
durability
yeah.
is probably number one, but second is odor. Because
I mean,
that's for debate.
durability is a deal breaker.
Yeah.
The odor was the thing I was focused on, so there's potential there. So one day maybe we'll get that.
Well, if
but
you've
anyway,
ever shared a teepee with Bjorn Stitchko, who
Okay.
wears Under Armour underwear
Okay.
on a sheep hunt,
God.
okay.
full gag off.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
you got to throw those fucking boxers away, bro.
Nice.
That's-
I
that-
look forward to
that-
not ever doing that.
Probably a Patreon story. We'll get to that later.
So anyway, I like literally
graphic.
was like, okay, well, this is failing, and I knew about this silver fiber from my Lululemon days,
Yeah.
and so I was like, this is a U.S. based company. I know they invented it here. Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna like write an email that's like, hi, you don't know me. I used to work at Lululemon. I'm familiar with your fiber because of that time. Please take me seriously, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, oh, you're in Alaska. Our West Coast sales rep's going to be nearby Seattle. Like in a month.
Nearby as it gets.
In a month. If you're serious about this, you're probably going to want to go have a meeting. And I'm like, okay, I have to fly to Seattle if I want to pursue this idea. Like, this is getting more expensive.
You're getting in the weeds.
But this is what I got to do. So I like literally, luckily we have Alaska Airlines credit card, air miles, like
not that far.
Yeah, not that far.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I stayed overnight or if I might have done it in a 24, like a day.
You can do a Seattle day trip.
I should look back at my, for the sake of my like future, like being an old woman telling stories, I should probably look up if we did it in one day, or that'll be the big fish version of that story eventually.
Yeah.
But I like flew down there. Yeah, I met up with like the fabric textiles designer, and the CEO of their company was also there. And so I'm like having coffee, being like this person that's like, I have an idea for a company, but I need your fiber to do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they took me seriously because I freaking showed up in Seattle.
Yeah.
And your background had to help, though.
It helped. It helped, for sure.
You were legit. You've been in the game.
Yeah. And I have like serious imposter syndrome. Like I always am like, oh, I'm not ready, and it's like not good enough, whatever. But like when I decide that I'm ready, I'll like really stick myself out and my neck out in a big way and be like, take me seriously. I'm serious about this.
You show them the video of you backflipping with a snowboard on?
Yeah.
Look at serious
ripping. You're like, I need a better shirt.
Just back checking the hockey game with a slapper from the blue line. Yeah, I'm serious. Okay.
Hip checks. Let's go.
Exactly.
That's a Don Cherry quote right there.
That was good. That was
a good one.
We watched way too many Rock'em Sock'em videos, courtesy of my brother. Anyway, so I got it done to like get that fiber and fabric and whatever. I'm taking a long time to tell this part of the story, but basically it was all about having the fabric.
Right.
And I got them to take me seriously. I got them to connect me with a fabric mill in the U.S. that was certified to work with this fiber. And then the next step is you've got to get them to take you seriously to develop a fabric that doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
And so I had to like literally make the phone call where they're like, we'll only talk to you if you're going to order 10,000 yards. And I was like, I'll order 10,000 yards eventually. We'll get there.
It was probably more like, do you sell 50 pounds?
Yeah. I deal in pounds of fabric.
Let's compromise here.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
Were you able to just get a certain amount each year then of that 10,000 or?
So they want you to be serious. It's like just like their filter.
Sure.
But it turns out like, and anyone who's like looking to develop, like I'll give this advice to anyone who's trying to like get into this. There are ways around it. They have a surcharge schedule, which means like if you don't meet the minimums for this, there's like a fee to pay to do it.
Okay.
And it's like once they take you seriously a little, you can have the peek behind the curtain. It's like, oh yeah, of course, if you're willing to pay for stuff.
Yeah.
Which
they'll waive some of those things.
And of course, like for the first development roles, like I had to pay like a $500 development fee and another like a couple different setup charges for them setting up the machines.
Sure.
But it was like, okay, I'm ordering a 90-yard roll of fabric, that's, whatever price it was at the time per yard. And then you add up all these little fees to get that first fabric to exist. It was only going to end up being like an extra $3 or $4 per yard, which is some amount, but it's not astronomical.
Right.
Like it's not like, I had planned and saved to start this. That was like within the realm of like a startup expense.
Totally.
Yeah, it was in your threshold.
Yeah, like when I hear about my friends that are in food businesses, like the machines that you need for some of the stuff you got to try to make, or like
you got to pull out a second mortgage on that shit.
Yeah. So in terms of that kind of thing, it was actually relatively easy, sort of. Just you had to like really put yourself out there and be willing to do that. So yeah, we got the first fabric roll, and then it was like, okay, I got to make this into something that actually fits so that I can see if it bags out and is durable and whatever. And it passed all that testing. It was amazing. And then it just kind of like snowballed from there. I had to move beyond using the little home sewing serger. I wanted to start working on the fit shapes. And I've got a reconditioned flat lock sewing machine, which makes like the really flat seam that's like flat on the front and on the back. Like
What's that called?
Flat lock.
Flat lock.
Yeah, you see it on like Lululemon leggings or any of your, higher end base layers and stuff like that.
Like
potentially.
Like that one?
That one is not, but like if that was a next to skin fit, they would have used this because
you don't want that rubbing on the skin.
Exactly.
Got it.
So it's like a lower chafing kind of seam.
Got it.
Anyway, I found a reconditioned one.
Very important on boxer briefs, by the way.
Yes, they would be.
Very.
If Alpine Fit makes a boxer brief of any length and seam, it will have flat lock
I'm
seams.
feeling like you're gonna make it.
Yeah.
Feeling
Anyway,
good about it.
yeah. So I got this reconditioned machine and was getting shipped here, and we lived in a little split level house, and there was no way we could get a 400-pound machine
Right.
into the house. And our garage was like a little single car garage, like wedged full with all of our toys,
Yep.
outdoor stuff. So I rented like a windowless workshop that was 12 by 20 in Midtown and got that delivered there and started making samples. And then that snowballed into, we can make samples, we can make product for sale.
Yep.
Start rolling.
And then I got a last minute cancellation right after the 2018 earthquake. That's right when I was like just designing and developing, and I put some stuff in September 2018 Anchorage Design Week at the museum, and some of my like really early stuff sold at Anchorage Design Week, and I was like, oh, people are gonna like this. This is cool.
Yeah.
And the earthquake happened in October of 2018? November. And that messed up one of these sales market, like one of those maker markets events weekends. And because of that, they had
Compromise the venue or something?
No, they had cancellations because they moved the weekend. So they had cancellations. So then I had like this semi-viable product like 2 weeks before that event was going to happen. Viable product, but like not a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like semi-assembled viable product.
Yeah.
And then we got a booth at that, and I was like, okay, I went into full, like what we called at the time, maker's market mode, and just like sewed a ton of stuff, had a rack and a display, and then we sold like a couple $1,000s worth of stuff at that
Nice.
market.
Wow.
And it was like,
All
okay,
right.
not only are we doing this, we're made in Alaska, like,
Yeah.
It goes a long way.
and yeah, so that was kind of fun.
Yeah. And then when did you get the shop?
So the workshop or the store?
No, the workshop.
The workshop. So we're in the same.
Was the workshop before the store?
So yes.
Okay.
So the little 12 by 20 windowless warehouse space was in Arctic Business Park, which we're actually in now. We just
Okay.
moved one building over. So
Yeah.
like we were in that tiny space. When I say we, at the beginning it's me, but you say we, so
Yeah.
you can get taken seriously by
Right.
fabric
Yeah.
mills.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I did start having like team
Huge
because
team.
you need people to sew stuff. And I have awesome people. Like we have a lean dream team. But yeah,
Nice.
so we were in that tiny space, and I did have like my first employee there. And then somebody that was like an electrician was moving out of a really cool bigger space in the next building over that had like, the garage door, the windows, and
Yep.
the mezzanine thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you ever move, we want your space.
Yeah.
And they moved, and like we moved in the winter. I just like dragged that 400 pound piece of equipment on the snow on a pallet across the parking lot, like with like a harness.
1,
like,
2, 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, exactly.
You brought the Alaska pup.
Yeah. She wasn't. Oh, she was a puppy, a tiny puppy. She was born September 2018, and this was like
She was sitting on top of the sewing machine while you were pulling it.
This was like January or maybe March, whatever. It was like early 2019. We moved into that space, and so I hired another employee. Amanda is still on our team, who I hired in 2019. So my second employee ever is still with us.
That's awesome.
And so we're in that same space, but it was like this huge cavernous warehouse when we moved in, and now it's like wedged in like
Jam-packed
Tetris,
tight,
and
yeah.
we do a lot of stuff there. So anyway, that's kind of the origin.
Yeah.
It was just like I got this idea. I've got to get this fabric. Oh, people like it. Great.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, like there's more to the story. Like I needed to nail the fit. So I was like studying different body data, studies that are out there, having people try it on, give me feedback on how it fit.
Wow. Yeah, I loved your website, and you have, photos and of all different, men, women, body types, and but you have 4 women all together with the bushwhackers.
Bushwhacking leggings, yeah.
Yeah, and they're all just very relatable sized women.
Yeah,
and
you're doing
and
well at wording this.
Yeah, I'm trying to be careful, man.
Yeah.
This
Watch
stresses
your
me.
words.
You're doing really well.
Stresses me out, man.
You're a thoughtful dude.
Thank you.
Get to go on the short list.
I live on Girl Island, all right?
Girl.
I have made some mistakes. I'm learning from those and
We're all-
improving upon them.
Yeah.
But no, I when I saw that, I thought, wow, you put a lot of design and foresight into designing for the real fit.
Yeah, so we
Right?
go
Like,
yeah,
not everybody's a runway model, okay?
Yeah, we go from extra small to double extra large, which is like a 2 to a 20 or 22 in women's number sizing. And we did like this crazy, what we called our community photo shoot. We had 45 people representing all of our sizes and fits and more show up together with us, and we actually invited a lot of our like entrepreneur friends to come be models, and then also bring stuff from their own businesses to have be in the photos.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Wow.
like they could come get photos that they might need, like headshots or product shots or something like that, but also we needed actual human bodies to put in clothing
Yeah.
to show all the sizes and
Yeah, of
fits.
course.
And so we did like a studio thing in my garage, and then we had like a little like outdoor, we had my little fire pit on our deck, so we had like a little outdoor lifestyle stuff.
Yeah,
and we had
yeah.
like in 4 hours we had 45 people, and took like, we had a girl on our team was one photographer, and we have another photographer friend that we hired, and just had 2 photographers, and just like cranked out so many photos.
that's awesome.
But yeah, if you click on
Found all the angles.
if you click on the bushwhacking leggings and then scroll down on the pictures, you can see that there's literally like
There it is, right
they're
there.
30.
Daniel, the middle one.
yeah.
They'll be they'll be our
And then
gals.
on the gallery on the left of that, you can scroll just like go up.
This one?
Yeah.
There they are. Relatably.
You can literally
Size.
scroll forever, and there's pictures, which is kind of obnoxious to have so many pictures. I wish I had a better like app for the website to organize a gallery view of that better. You know, we need to be better
Right.
and better and better and better. But they're there, and the
Your
idea is,
website's awesome, and I think all the photos are great. Especially, I think us men, we're like, you know what? If as long as it's 34 medium or length, whatever, I'll roll with it. I'll make it
Yeah.
fit. For women, I think it's critical for it to fit right, or they're not going to wear it.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And we
You know?
and we have a lot of positive, very positive,
Be
like
real careful, bro.
tearful positive experiences
Yeah?
with like the fit, especially our curvier fit, which is our azalea fit. That's the fullness in the pants is in like the hip seat zone. The wild iris fit is more full in the waist and straighter through the hips. Yeah, I've seen people like in tears of joy having an outdoor
Nice.
pant that fits them
That's
well.
awesome.
Well, and I think that goes hand in hand with when you're presenting a product that maybe folks don't know about. You're going to have more of an opportunity for an impulse buy, and I think an impulse buy is a hook, line, and sinker if it fits. If you put something on and it fucking fits, it's
Yeah.
like $180 for these things.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll take them. They fit so good, I can't pass it up.
Yeah,
you know, it's
they're not-
You're going to sell it.
yeah, they're not cheap. I will warn people. Our accessories are like more not outrageous prices, but our clothing is expensive.
Well, you get what you pay for.
The
Yeah.
It's good quality,
silver
yeah.
and made in USA, made in Alaska, that stuff's not
Yeah.
not
cheap.
inexpensive.
I know it's hard to find the price point that is, for the. I think if you have certain price points, some people are just going to see it and immediately like, not way more than what I want. But if you are a hardcore outdoor enthusiast,
Yeah.
whatever that means, we all learn over time and experiences that good gear pays off every time.
Yeah.
So you're fine. It's.
Yeah.
I mean,
I obviously wish that you at first start pricing things like what's competitive, what are people actually going to want to pay, and all that sort of stuff. What's more like, what would I want to pay? And then at the end of the day, you have to price it the way that it needs to be priced for it to exist as a product. And so what we hopefully do is make sure that it has all the features that you need. It might not be as impulsive of a purchase, but maybe if it fits really well and it's the thing you're always looking for, it
Yeah.
would be. But like, think about it, make a careful purchase. We offer free repairs. We offer free like alterations of sorts.
like tailoring things
Like
if they're a little too long, or
hemming
whatever?
and stuff
Okay,
like that.
yeah.
Like even with the shirts that have a cuff on them, we'll
in
take
house too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll like take the cuff off, shorten the sleeve, and put the cuff back
Oh,
on and
that's
stuff like
rad.
that.
Wow.
And if you get like a hole in something, like this fabric's really bomb-proof for getting a hole in it. But merino wool, our merino wool fabric, we blend. I developed it to have 13% recycled nylon in it. So that helps with its durability without reducing the properties of merino wool that make it so special, the odor resistant and breathability.
'Cause that stuff is fragile.
Merino wool is fragile. The 13% nylon, recycled nylon really helps, but we'll also, if you get a hole in it, we'll repair it for you. Or if it like explodes, we'll replace it, or, whatever that
Right.
spectrum is. But like, that's the stuff we should
really
do, we
stand
can
by
do.
it.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So is that a lifetime warranty then?
Yeah.
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 That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready for some trivia?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I already showed all my cards about Admiralty Island. So
Did we
Yeah.
do a
We
second
might
break?
just surprise
No,
you.
we haven't done a second break.
I thought we did
Yeah,
do
we
a
did.
second
We
break.
did the
We
second
definitely
break.
did a
We
second
did?
break.
Yeah, we did the second
Oh
break.
shit! Okay.
Yeah.
I have a
Maybe she should host the show.
pre-trivia question.
Okay.
I'm hoping you know the answer.
Oh
Definitely
my
know
gosh.
we
I'm
don't know the
I'm
answer.
getting really nervous.
And if not, we'll look it up.
Yeah, what do you got, chemist?
So you said the average roll that a fabric that comes is 10,000 yards?
Average? No.
I mean, like when you
that-
first started, like you got to order 10,000.
That's the gatekeeping thing that they say to you that
Okay.
is not
Try
true.
to scare you off.
Okay, so that's my question. So 10,000, is that correct? 10,000 yards?
That's what they said to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many average shirts can you make out of 10,000 yards
That's
of
a great
fabric?
That's a great question. A men's shirt probably take
I want to see what these guys have
Oh.
to say about that.
Hold on, I need music.
What was the question?
how many shirts can you make out of 10,000
Long
yards of fabric?
sleeve.
At
Crew necks?
10,000 yards.
Long sleeve shirts.
Long sleeve,
Men's
So-
or women's?
men's.
Okay.
Jen,
So
is that a
it's
crew? Is that what
This
that
is a
would-
crew neck.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So the yard is 3 by 3.
36 inches.
By
fabric
36.
fabric width could be up to 60 inches.
What?
286 shirts.
10,000 yards is linear length. On the roll.
286
Okay,
shirts.
so then it's
Boom.
60.
It's 60 inches wide.
410. Jack,
So
Don't give 'em time to do math.
wide,
Yep,
and
yep,
then
yep.
and
Gonna
then
interrupt
it's 10. How
So-
Ba,
so-
ba, 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 ba.
10,000
So 60
long?
inches wide
Yeah.
by 36 inches
Noonan.
long.
Noonan.
Yeah.
But times 10,000.
Yeah.
So 36,000 inches. No. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay.
Don't
280,
look at me.
410,
10,000.
10,000.
286.
My math was just
286.
wrong on what I just said, but he's really close to correct.
Wow.
Around
she's-
10,000.
And you can't see why- can you see why I'm pointing?
8,000?
A men's long sleeve shirt probably takes 1.3 yards
Yeah,
per
okay.
shirt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, now you're giving him answers.
Oh,
No,
you
he
already
just
guessed
answered.
it.
He said
what
yeah,
do you-
he said 10,000.
10,000 shirts?
Close. It's more like 8,000 or something. 7,000.
We were way off.
You could probably.
He said 200.
I said 286 shirts.
I love your answers. This is how,
286 gigantic
I
shirts.
just want to know the
nobody. He asked clarified questions, so I guess he had a leg up.
Well, I just wanted to know, like, because the yards, I thought when we were talking about yards that they would
Well-
be 1 by 1,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
Okay,
60
hold on a second.
inches by 36 inches is big. That's
we
like
need- we
one.
need another question
That's like
about-
one half a shirt.
I'm gonna just call straight bullshit on that because
On
it was
who?
it was on this whole thing because it was the yardage and how many shirts can be made, and then you just guess it, not like, okay, how many inches is one thing? No, see, you dug and she gave in and gave you too much information,
Okay.
and you're so smart, you just happen to like do the
Dude.
math real quick like a
Dude.
calculator.
Dude, if it was 10,000 yards and it was 1 inch wide, then it's a totally different question than if. So I had to know how wide the sheet was. You have to know that to answer the question.
What
See.
I think is proven by this is how little the general public knows about how apparel manufacturing.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
totally.
They don't know
280 shirts.
anything.
I know.
We should all have a class to learn.
They're like, does
We
it
are all
say-
wearing clothes right now.
They're like, does it say? Does
If
it
you
say
wear clothes.
Say Alpine Fit or Lululemon? I'll take it. I think that's
Perfect.
good stuff.
All right,
Ooh,
Jackie, hit
oh,
us
yeah.
with the
I wonder
hit
if
us
they-
with the
I wonder
real
if we
trivia.
could, the Girl Scout troop could come check your operation
Yeah,
out.
for sure.
All right, cool. Okay, so the first the first question is the black bear question. What place on Earth has the highest density of black bears?
I'm gonna just double down on Admiralty Island.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Vancouver.
Yeah, at Vancouver Island, and this is it's like per is there like a per?
Oh, now you want
No, I'm gonna do the Jack thing. Okay,
Highest
don't be a
density.
hypocrite.
It's the highest
Highest
density.
density.
you want the
so
mileage
just
of the
doesn't-
island and
The most
Well-
bears per square foot or per square
Okay,
mile.
it's probably Vancouver, but I want to say. So I saw this really cool hunting video that Shockey and his daughter Evie did in like North Carolina, and they saw like a bazillion black bears, and they had like the fattest ones, and they had a shit ton of bears. So, is there any chance it's somewhere East Coast like that? Like
It's in North Carolina, yeah.
No way.
Is it really?
Yeah, it was.
Well, that was all those leading questions you
So,
did. Man.
No. There's no leading questions.
It's called
one answered 'em.
Albemarle Pamlica Peninsula, and I think it's also has like crocodile forest in it or
There
something.
was
That
no
sounds
leading
terrifying.
questions. There were
Yeah.
leading questions I was asking myself and answering.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really count. Cheaters. I
But
nailed
it
it.
has the highest
Nailed it.
density in the
I
world.
think I have the best record on trivia.
Okay.
And these are just flat out like
Cap.
just dumb guess.
Like the kids
that
would say,
one,
cap.
What's cap? What is
right.
that?
You don't know what that means?
Is that like sus or
Ninja Lion.
All right, next question.
Cap-
this
Cap
is our
Ninja
last
Lion?
question.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is our last
Wow.
question because we
I don't
already
get
had one from Daniel. All right. So, what is the highest strength fabric for in general, but also used in clothes?
Wait, tensile strength?
Yeah.
no leading questions?
Oh.
Well, it's
Copper fit.
in Pascal, so I'm thinking that it would be tensile strength, but it could also just be like full pressure on the.
Which fabric are you talking, like numbers?
Like Kevlar,
Oh, like a fabric.
Dyneema, nylon.
It's like the type.
Dyneema?
silk.
Ooh, that's a good one. So I'm going to just stick with copper fit.
The copper fit. Okay,
Yeah.
copper fit. Copper fit.
Crank it up, Daniel.
Like the knee brace.
Crank it up.
All right. What
Come
do you
on. You haven't seen the commercials?
I feel.
do? You have to go last. You have to go last.
Oh.
Just because you know more about this stuff. Brandon's gonna say whatever
He was
you say.
listening to what I was.
No, he's the
listing
best
out.
at trivia. Go ahead.
I like
Let's
this.
hear it.
This
Let's
is
hear
a
it.
serious face.
It's all just a poker face.
Flannel.
Flannel.
What was the question again?
Oh, God.
What is the strongest fabric?
I know what the question is.
I
know
feel
what
like it's the
question is.
fabric that those Under Armour boxer briefs of your friend wears.
that stink like a fucking
That
dead
is-
horse buried in bird crap. I don't know. Carhartt.
Oh, a good one. There you go. That's hey, shout out to Big Race.
Carhartt.
Brandon's
Yeah.
going
Wow.
with cotton.
Yeah.
The fabric. All right. And you're doing copper.
And I am burdened by knowledge. Like, what's the definition of fabric in this question?
Wait,
because
Carhartt's not a
no leading
fabric?
questions.
okay, like fiber would be a question.
It's
Don't
it's
get
the
you
type
guys
of
don't get all
fabric.
super smart here. Just go.
Like,
go.
and it's not a blend. It's like if you just pick
now you're
one
giving her,
of
now
the
you're
different
giving her
ones.
some.
Okay. I mean, like,
You put cotton. That's not a blend.
it would have to be
I
like
said Carhartt. All right, it's
a
own
Kevlar,
material.
Kevlar non-woven fabric.
Kevlar non-woven.
All right. All right.
Come on, say
This
it.
says it's polyethylene. So
Okay.
Polyethylene?
yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and it says it's the highest strength, blah, blah, blah. It says that a spinneret can yield strengths as high as 2.4 GPa. I don't know, is that gigapascals? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I get it would be good. Yeah.
Gigapascals.
Gigapaxels?
Pascals.
huge.
Whoa.
That's like a British
Yeah.
metric stress.
Oh,
so
okay.
strength,
That's
and it could
pretty-
either be pressure or strength.
Polyethylene is polyester.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's
So
got nothing
I
on
thought-
polypropylene.
all I did was Google it. All
Sorry, I
right,
was
and
trying to
so
sound smart.
but it's a fabric. That's we all have polyethylene clothes.
Yeah.
Do we
So-
like who? What like brand
Polyester.
makes?
Polyester is polyethylene. Same thing.
Oh, okay.
So like
Which
the
is made of
old
tons
stinky
of
shirts
synthetic
that we
stuff.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like the
Under
stuff
Armour
you get,
101 is
like when
polyester,
You go
right?
run for Skinny Raven or whatever, and you buy
Yeah.
the little shirt, that'll be polyester.
Yeah. That's
So
interesting.
yeah, I thought that was cool.
Fascinating. That is cool.
But I mean, it makes sense. They make like all those gas pipelines and stuff that are in the street right outside. They're
Yeah.
made out of polyethylene,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't see polyethylene.
Those big water tanks that people buy
Yep.
when you live off grid or whatever.
Yep.
Polyethylene.
Yep. So that makes sense. Learn
I
something.
mean, that was going to be my second guess, but
Yeah. I did feel like it was like a UFO
After
music.
Copper Fit and Carhartt were the best answers.
Yeah. I do
love
like
that.
I do like it.
My first initial was I was going to go gold infused.
Gold extruded.
Extruded. That's what I should have. Damn it! And then
Titanium.
my plan B was Carhartt. I was like,
Carhartt. I was like, I think Carhartt are 100% cotton. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know, some thick ass cotton, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
just
Just
woven
all-
hard.
Yeah.
Just
Woven.
bulletproof.
Woven hard.
so extruded.
Yeah.
And so what's
I-
Kevlar made out of then?
Kevlar's another like synthetic.
It's just its own product, Kevlar is?
Yeah, I should know. My chemistry brain should be able to tell you like the chemical composition of it, but I don't have that in my back pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not super
Page
outdoorsy.
7.
Is that more? Is Kevlar more of like
Maybe
a?
back on page 7.
Is that more of like a mold
What's
with
that?
with a fabric around it?
Kevlar?
Yeah.
Some Kevlar is like a non-woven. So what that means is they have the fibers of Kevlar. And, well, if you picture like a dish, the scrubber side of a dish sponge, that's a non-woven. They've basically taken a bunch of fibers and laid them down together, and either in like an emulsion or with something that sort of snags it, turned it into a fabric rather than weaving or knitting it together. So Kevlar is usually like a bunch of fibers that are overlaid, but not necessarily like knitted or woven like a basket together.
Kevlar is a strong heat-resistant synthetic fiber related to other aramids such as Nomex and Technora.
I know
Perfect.
exactly what those are. I get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's helpful.
Yeah. What's
Learned that
Nomex
once.
in? Nomex is in something.
Is Nomex the fire retardant?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
FR stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is used in Carhartt products.
there you
There
go.
you go.
Bam!
Boom. Boom.
Yeah.
I still won the trivia on the second question. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get a free sticker.
It's Polly. Told y'all.
Any adventurous plans for the winter?
Oh, let's see. The winter. Yeah, winter's upon us. We'll get out like backcountry skiing, cross country skiing. Kids will hopefully get a spot in Junior Nordic this year.
Nice.
Trips away. We'll try to probably escape somewhere warm for a little
Right on.
mental health break.
Definitely.
I don't know. I love the winter. Hiking, biking, whatever.
Right on.
Trying to find re-spark my love for winter this winter.
Skate skiing, buddy. Let's go.
You gotta.
Get some
What do you like to
skate
do? What is your?
there.
What
I mean,
would you do?
I love snowmobiling.
Okay.
I don't have a snow machine anymore. I've considered purchasing one. I got the
Okay.
green light from wifey to do so.
Yeah.
Kind of want to like gravitate to old man snow machining.
Yes. You go.
Okay.
If you do it, then I have to do it.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to spend 20 grand because that seems
Just
like
buy
what you
an
gotta
old
do
used
to,
one.
Yeah, but
No?
no, I want something that's got a good paddle track, good power.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
what to get.
I'm not
You know
trying
what
to
to
get the
get.
96 Mach 5. You know, that's just a belt on snow. So the thing is that I got such a busy. I mean, I'm not the only parent. I just, you know, the kids are in winter. You know, they play basketball and hockey.
Yep.
Popular time of the year is in the winter time.
Yep.
So the reality that I can go do the winter activities that I want to do sounds good now until we get into the teeth of it. And there's a basketball game on Friday, and then a practice and a game on Saturday, and then another one has a game on Sunday. I'm like, well, when am I gonna go ride?
Yeah. And we're
Tuesday.
heading into the holidays.
Right. Or I maybe just quit my job and then figure other things out, and then I can just go snow machining on Wednesday. I
Yeah,
mean,
there you go.
that's
Yeah.
probably what I really need to do.
Yeah.
Nice.
Go to 4 days a week.
You guys looking for anybody over at Alpine Fit?
Like to do what? You want to learn to sew?
I could do a lot of things, actually.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe.
One thing for sure, I know my fabrics.
Okay. You do.
I mean, I we'll get to it after the show, but my golden fuse extruded design buff is probably
Okay.
going to be a
Okay.
staple in your store in the future. So
How are you with power tools? Because they're wielding an industrial sewing machine or industrial fabric cutting machines is very akin to.
I mean, if you want to feel this finger, it's rough. So I think it does some work.
Okay.
These hands are working
I
hands.
thought you were going to say
That's
you like
right.
cut off.
Yeah, this fingertips cut off. What does that
I
say?
learned some hard lessons.
Actually, this has been broken multiple times and it's dislocated, so I think that qualifies.
Perfect.
Oh, sorry.
Send her the
finger thing
video
got
of
kinda weird.
you on the trampoline and you're in.
Yeah. You got to
yeah.
make a shirt
Spraining
at
my
home
ankle.
Yeah,
and bring
send
it
me
to
your
her.
application video.
All right, I'm gonna package something for you. It's gonna surprise you.
Okay,
a
I'll
lot.
share it with the Mighty Bikes team as well.
It's not quite chemist. It's not quite chemist
He's in
quality.
the full Carhartt doing backflips.
The onesie.
Yeah. No, that they have a Carhartt tuxedo at Big Ray's in Fairbanks, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's bad.
In the traditional brown.
I don't know. I
Has
haven't
to
seen
be.
it in real
I
life,
hope
but I
so.
hope to visit it soon.
Yeah.
I had a random question that just came up. I was wondering what the backstory was on the Alpine Fit design with the mountain terrain and that backdrop.
Yeah.
That's on your buffs. That's on your hats. That's on your designs. Like, where did that come from?
I kind of so I developed the fabric.
Here we go, right there, Daniel.
Yeah. I developed the fabric and designed the styles of how things fit. And then I've worked with a few different artists
back
on
up.
artwork
This
that
one?
I think speaks
No.
to the places we want to be and the, kind of ethereal, like it's
Left.
inspiring outdoor adventure
Okay.
escapes that we want to be in. So we've mostly worked with women artists for those graphics and pay them the like fee to have reproductions of that art on our fabric. So we send the digital art files to our fabric printer, print it on there and put it on there. But I think it just like, you know, it speaks to somebody who likes to be out in nature and like just feels like it's part of your identity, and you can wear something that feels like you, and then it's actually applied to the really technical functional fabrics. So
and honestly, it initially gave me the vibe of camo. Believe it or not, like it really.
Yeah, this one in particular, some people think is like a pseudo camo.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about, you know, if you wanted to maybe not go with like the cliche camo thing, but you could design your own kind of colors with your art backdrop to your design that could be like a camo thing.
I
totally. Mean, and it wouldn't need to be all over. You can just get a couple little things to break up the solid.
Maybe good. Like even if it was just the inside liner of a hood or something like that, you know?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I was curious. I noticed that was a unique part of your design.
Yeah.
And it was very consistent with the things I was, you know, your products I was looking at. Like,
Yeah, it was important to me to like just have something that's, you know, stands out and has sort of unique branding without it being an obvious like Alpine Fit emblazoned across the chest, which some people say you guys should have that too, and maybe we should have better branding so it's more recognizable like that, and people do that. But a lot of people like that it's maybe subtle. Just recognizable because it's got these forearm things, or our tank tops and t-shirts have like a print across the back of it. I've been like hiking on a trail and gone past somebody and they go, "That's one of those shirts," and I go,
I kind of make these.
You straighten out your back a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So retail in Alaska, that's a tough gig.
Yep.
You're finding success in it.
Yep.
Growth, what's coming? What's new? What can you tell us that's not top secret?
Okay, sure.
Alpine Fit.
I'm currently developing another fabric with silver in the fiber that's going to be, this is already UPF 50 plus sun protective and stuff. I'm making a really lightweight version of it to make a sun hoodie top.
Oh, sweet. Nice.
And some other light, exactly. Some other lightweight.
And runners and, I mean, many different activities,
Yeah, and a tank top, t-shirt, and sort of stuff for next spring. Underwear we have been working on underwear behind the scenes that's not close to launching, but...
You could be the model.
There you go.
I mean, I could help design because there's some things for men's underwear that need to be kind of reinforced. And
Okay.
We can, again, detailed graphics we can talk about later.
Our process, wow. Our process for that.
You are married to a man, so you probably know what I'm talking about.
We've started designing like women's underwear. Okay. And we had like 14 different women of different body shapes and sizes, testing out a couple different styles, because like people are really particular about underwear. Like you're talking about different inseam lengths. For women, it's like, you know, is it hipster? Is it a brief? Is it thong? Like I only wear these with this kind of pant. I only wear those with that kind of pant. I never wear this. I only wear that. So we're kind of, it's a big, big can of worms to do underwear.
And for men, I kind of think you only need 1, 2, 3 fits tops.
I like the built-in underwear from Bird Dogs.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've ever looked into their stuff, but it's amazing when you buy pants and shorts with built-in underwear.
I have a pair of Lululemon shorts that have the built-in. I don't know what that one's called.
Yeah.
Where I messed up and wore my boxer briefs and put them on. I'm like, wow, so much binding and like, what is wrong with this? And I'm like, it's built in.
Yeah, that's interesting. So these are pants
like a swimming trunk.
Yeah, so they Bird
Dogs shirts.
I don't
shorts.
I don't know them well.
Just sign up for their marketing because they have the best marketing.
I love that.
But they're out of the East Coast somewhere, and they make
check this out.
They basically make any look short you want, like a khaki or whatever, golf short or gym short or swimming short, but they're all made out of like synthetic material that dries fast, so you can they can be swimming gear or they're like gym shorts basically, but they started making khakis that are the same like gym material, so you're like basically you look like you're wearing khakis but you are wearing sweatpants
that have built-in underwear.
That's amazing.
I mean my husband's got a pair of like running shorts or Lululemon sort of hiking shorts that have a built-in sort of boxer brief thing,
man.
Yeah, and like, you know, the old like, you know, the old swim shorts had the like mesh thing in them.
Oh, those are awful.
Yeah.
But
I gather that. I mean, I don't have experience with that,
shit
but
binds bad.
one of the reasons
Catches,
that
it gets weird.
I was saying that is because like when you're out like backpacking
Yeah.
and stuff,
Oh man, the chafe.
like dudes,
the extra layers there.
that you get that chafe on your
Yeah.
waist,
Yeah.
and if you had built-in underwear, you would not
chafes,
get that.
Jack.
Yeah.
What?
You have catastrophic chafes that go down.
That ended up being cow's nest parsley. So I ended up having chemical burns.
Oh, wow.
Is what that was.
That's
so
brutal.
On the Kasugi, even?
No, that was because I didn't adjust my bag.
Oh,
no,
okay, okay.
after sheep hunting.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that wasn't the squirrel poop.
Yeah, but if I didn't have a
fibers
belt,
of your, I know it's weird.
if I didn't have a belt or undies, if I would have just had built-in underwear without a belt, then I wouldn't have got that day on the Kasugi. You know.
Oh yeah.
AlpineFit.com.
AlpineFit.com, at Alpine Fit Co. on social media. And come visit us if you're in Anchorage.
Yes.
Show.
Yeah,
Right next to Barney's.
that's right.
Big sponsor.
We're gonna come. We're gonna come crash the party.
Yes.
Make a video.
When are you there?
I'm there pretty often, like Tuesdays through Fridays
Okay.
at the shop. It's open Tuesdays through Saturdays right now. There'll be longer hours during the holidays, like during December.
Nice.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Any pop-ups you got coming
We
up?
do tons of pop-ups. I'm going to go down to Juneau for Juneau Public Market, which is like the weekend of Thanksgiving. We usually do like Mount Marathon 4th of July Festival in Seward kind of thing, like anywhere where it's like we might find our customer
Yeah.
and it's a sales event.
Yeah.
But then holidays, like just everyone's looking for stuff, and everyone in Alaska does outdoor stuff. So
Yeah, that's right.
Great time.
Yep.
Well, thanks for coming in, Jen. Thank you for designing what you're doing. Made in Alaska. You can't go wrong with that. So go out, people that are listening, and go support Jen and Alpine Fit and Brandon's upcoming
Boxer brief design.
Yeah.
The collab.
The collab.
the collab. Alaska Wild Project longing seam boxer briefs.
It's like Carhartt on the outside.
and for the record, gentlemen, it will be reinforced in the right areas.
Good.
Yeah, Jen, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for bringing your talents to Alaska, and thank you for making Alaska home.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Well
you
said.
make Alaska better
Yeah, that's right.
for what you're doing, and raising a beautiful family and doing the thing. It's, I think, our version of the American dream.
Totally. We're living it, guys.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was super cool to meet you. You're doing some cool stuff.
It was great to meet
Yeah,
you guys.
keep it
Thank
up.
you for that. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Alaska. Thank you for listening. AlaskaWildProject.com. Please support the podcast on Patreon. Please support the podcast by supporting our sponsors. And get out there and get outside this weekend. Thank you, everyone, for listening. As always,
Stay wild.
You'll remember my speaking to you of what I call your overcautiousness. Are you not overcautious when you assume that you cannot do what the enemy is constantly doing?
the Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Big Rays, the Alaskan outfitter, committed to outfitting Alaskans across the state since 1947. Whether you're a recreator, parent, guide, or corporate buyer, Big Rays has the gear you need, tailored for Alaska's harsh conditions. Check out their new exclusive line of aerolic waders. Big Rays for all your outdoor gear and rugged work attire. BigRays.com.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives. AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO. Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They are the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional property maintenance team. Services include weekly lawn care, custom landscaping, fertilizing, weed control, turf repair, and more. Schedule your free estimate at lawnproak.com.
Alaska's OG cider company, Double Shovel, crafting gluten-free colonial-style ciders, founded as a healthier, non-inflammatory brew option. Drop by their Pop and Tap room in Anchorage off of 58th and Arctic, or visit the second location in Kodiak. Double Shovel, award-winning ciders.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaskan public lands, waters, and wildlife. Their goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping our public lands wild. Stand up today and join BHA at backcountryhunters.org.
Should you not claim to be at least his equal in prowess and act upon the claim? I say try. If we never try, we shall never succeed. This proposition is a simple truth, and is too important to be lost sight of for a moment. If we cannot beat the enemy where he now is, we never can. It is all easy if our troops march as well as the enemy, and it is unmanly to say they cannot do it.